Fall in the area in New York. We're in the Bronx, Yankee Stadium, for the final game of this four-game series. Buck Martinez, Pat Tabler, and Arash Madani. And we're glad you're with us tonight. The Blue Jays can sweep the Yankees with a win tonight. The first time since 2003 they will have swept the series here in New York in a four-game series. Bo Bichette hitting leadoff tonight. The Yankees have won the Blue Jays have won 7 of 9 games here at Yankee Stadium this year. And the Blue Jays have out-homered the Yankees 18-5 in those 9 games. The Blue Jays have done a terrific job in this series, and right, as we mentioned, looking for the 4th game win. Bo Bichette top of the order, then Marcus Semien. In this series, Marcus is 6 for 11 with 4 runs scored and 3 home runs. He's got 38 homers and 90 ribbies for the season. Vladimir Guerrero hit number 41 last night. He's got 99 RBIs. Teoscar Hernandez, Alejandro Kirk's had a good series. Lourdes Gurriel's had a great September once again. Randall Grichuk's back in center. Danny Jansen behind the plate, and Kevin Smith gets another start in this series at third base.
And they will face Nestor Cortes, 10th start of the season, 18th appearance. He's like a boomerang. He just keeps coming back to this team. He originally was a 36th round draft pick in 2013 by the Yankees, and then a Rule 5 pick by the Orioles in 2018. And the Blue Jays actually faced him in April 2018, lit him up, and a week later he was returned to the Yankees, who promptly traded him to the Mariners, and then he became a free agent last offseason, signed back with the New York Yankees, and he's done a pretty good job. He was supposed to be a stopgap for this team because of injuries to Kluber and Severino and Domingo Germán. He is in the starting rotation and doing a good job for it. Defensively for the Yankees, this is how they will line up. Gallo, Gardner, and Judge tonight in the outfield. Urshela back over at third base. Gleyber Torres will be over there also with him. Tyler Wade will get to start at second base. Anthony Rizzo at first base. Gary Sanchez behind the plate. And Gleyber Torres has been catching some heat with the way that he has been playing some shortstop lately. He's been off for a couple of days to try and iron that out. But he's going to be an important part of this team the last 3 weeks of the season. They got to get him going.
Yeah, more than anything, they got to have him catch the baseball. He hasn't done a very good job of that. The Yankees as a team have committed 4 errors in this series, and Cortes is set. Bo Bichette's in the box, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is down and away for a ball, and we are underway. As Pat mentioned, Cortes has gone back and forth quite a bit between the Yankees and a couple other teams. There's a swing and a foul past third base.
So Bo Bichette will get the lead off here for Cortes. Like I mentioned, he was going to be a stopgap, but they've had a lot of injuries to their starters, and thank goodness they got him back because he has pitched very well for them.
And the Yankees got more bad news as far as their starting rotation. Jameson Taillon was just placed on the IL with a right ankle tendon injury. And they've added an arm in the bullpen. We'll talk about that a little bit later. 1-2 to Bo Bichette. Goes after that pitch and fouls it off. Doesn't make any difference where Bo's hitting. He is hitting in the leadoff spot for the 9th time this season. 61st time he's led off in his young career. He's got the same approach no matter where he's hitting, first, second, third, or fourth.
Yeah, and they're trying to snap him out of an 0-for-13 funk right here in Yankee Stadium. Give him a little something to look at, a little bit different from that lineup. Go up there hacking the lead off the ball game. They got to get his bat going again also. He is leading off because Charlie Montoyo said, you know, I didn't want to move too many people around, and I really wanted to keep Semien and Guerrero, who have been swinging hot bats together, so he just bumped him up the leadoff.
Cortes with a little sidearm offering right there, and Bo fouled that one off. Bo's tough with 2 strikes, man. I know he's got a lot of strikeouts, 117 strikeouts for the season, but he makes the pitchers work. Another 1-2 pitch, another foul out of play. The Yankees are in desperate need of some length from Cortes. In the last 2 games, their bullpen has pitched 11 of the 18 innings. On Monday afternoon, Jameson Taillon gave them 7 innings, but after that, Aaron Boone hasn't had much length from his starters. Downstairs for a ball. It's 2-1.
Yeah, Garrett Cole could only give him 3 2/3, and he was out with that hamstring injury. And then Luis Heel couldn't give him any length either, not because his stuff wasn't very good. He couldn't throw it over the plate. He threw a ton of pitches, and Aaron Boone had to go to that bullpen. And you're right, Cortez needs to give him some length.
There's a drive to left field. Get out of here and gone. Bo Bichette has jump-started the offense once again. That's the 19th home run the Blue Jays have hit at Yankee Stadium this season. They've out-homered the Yanks 19-5.
It may be, again, a little different look leading off of a ball game instead of hitting fourth. Maybe a little bit higher gives him a different look, and maybe it'll work out. Cortez has had a lot of success this year against right-handed batters. They're hitting just over 200 against them, but you try and slip that cutter in there. Bo Bichette was waiting for it, and he smoked that ball.
And the skipper does the honors tonight with the home run jacket. And there's another bullet off the bat of Marcus Semien. Back-to-back pitches hit on the line as Semien gets a single. Bo Bichette was 0 for 13 in the series before that long home run, and that'll turn things around.
Yeah, here comes the cutter, and that two-strike approach is going to help him because he doesn't have the exaggerated high leg kick. The hands go right to the baseball. Cortez doesn't get it in there, and if you don't get it in there, a good hitter, that's where it's going to end up, way deep to left field. Blue Jays are playing with a lot of confidence right now.
There's Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Inside. Cortez now with that home run has given up home runs in his last 7 starts. Eight home runs in those last 7 outings. Vladdy fouls it back. Pat, you can see it in the dugout. You can see it in batting practice. This team, the Blue Jays, playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, in all facets of the ball game, hitting and pitching and defense, all of it. This has been a team that has gone through a lot this year, having to make 3 different moves. And when you make those moves like that, it just binds you together. And this team has been playing. They've gone through a lot, and now I think you're starting to see the fruits of their labor. They are playing with a lot of confidence.
Are they ever? They have won 7 in a row. Haven't won 8 in a row since 2015. That terrific season the Blue Jays had. 1-2. Got him. Fastball upstairs, and Guerrero strikes out. That's the first out of the inning.
Cortez will throw the fastball. It reaches 90, 92 miles an hour, and that's about his average, but he's got to move the ball around. And if you want to prompt, he's a lot like Lucas Litke, who we saw last night. A lot of cutters and a lot of sliders that are going to go into the righties, so they got to be ready for it.
There's Teoscar Hernandez. Teo's hitting in the cleanup spot. And he goes after the first pitch and hooks it down in the line. Semien's around second. He's headed for third. And Teoscar will hustle into second with a double. Blue Jays are jumping all over Cortez early in this game.
That's that cutter that I was talking about. You're going to have to make him get it over the plate. Anything inside, it's going to be a ball. If you see it out over the plate, that little cutter slider is going to end up right in your wheelhouse. Teoscar wasn't waiting around at all for it. He saw it, hit it hard. Good job by Gallo to cut that ball off and save a run, because I thought Semien was going to score.
That base hit by Teoscar's 24th double. It's also the 265th first pitch hit for the Blue Jays, most in the majors. They go up there swinging. This is really interesting. The Yankees are playing the infield in here in the first inning. Alejandro Kirk takes a strike out at the bottom of the zone. I mean, that reflects the fact that the Yankees haven't scored any runs. They just can't afford to fall behind. In the first 3 games of this series, they have 1 extra base hit in their last 109 at bats. They've only scored 14 runs in their 5-game losing streak. Outside. Ball in the strike.
Yeah, I am so surprised they have the infield in the first inning with Kirk at the number 5 hitter in this lineup. And for him, his eyes have got to get this big. Seeing the infield, and look where the shortstop is, up on the grass. So they want to cut those runs off. As a hitter, you're loving this. You're licking your chops. You've got 2 RBIs out there.
There's a fly ball to right. Judge is medium depth. He's got a strong arm. Simeon is tagging, and he'll hold it third. Wasn't quite deep enough. So Cortez gets the second out of the inning. Judge has got a strong arm, and that wasn't that deep, and Simeon's stayed at third base. Well, if you look at the Blue Jays leaders in September in RBIs, I mean, the major league leaders, and Gurriel's at the top of the list. He and Marcus Simeon have had great Septembers. Frank Swindell of the Cubs has really put together a great month, but Gurriel has gotten big hits, and none might be bigger than a base hit right here with 2 outs in the first. Goes after that cutter, swings and misses.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's been picking up a lot of these RBIs by going the other way. When they make mistakes, he's been able to pull the ball to left field. He's been using the whole field. He's just had a great September, not just this year. Remember last September he was hot too.
He fouls that one off, and now he's really got a battle. Blue Jays have scored a run here on a Bo Bichette leadoff home run. Simeon at third, Teoscar Hernandez at second. 0-2 pitch to Gurriel. He stays alive. He fights it off.
You know, I mentioned the September, not just this one. Last year, if you combine last September and this September, he's played 33 games, 9 home runs, 30 RBIs. He's hitting .370. So if you need a 2-out hit, this might be your guy this month. He has been coming up with some big base hits for the Blue Jays over the last week to 10 days.
Another 0-2 pitch outside, 1-2. Now, we mentioned how thin the Yankees bullpen is, and boy, if they could get into that bullpen early in this game, that would be a huge lift for the Blue Jays. They used 6 relievers in the game last night. 1-0 Jays, 2 outs, 2 on. Another pitch down and away. When you're hot, boy, you've got a good eye at the plate like Gurriel. He can take those borderline pitches.
You know, you hear coaches talk about it, about being quiet at the plate, and he's real quiet right now. He's not check swing. He's not out on his front foot. He's very quiet, just using his hands. That's why that average is going up.
He gets to that inside pitch and fouls it off. Blue Jays have made Cortez work. He's thrown 24 pitches in this inning. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. Oh, strike 3. Looked like it was off the plate, and Gurriel doesn't agree with the call, but Cortez minimizes the damage. Bo Bichette jump starts the Blue Jays, puts them up 1-0 as Bo hits the leadoff home run, the 61st leadoff home run for the Blue Jays. Nothing lead as the Yankees will come to bat in the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the lineup for Aaron Boone tonight. It'll be Brett Gardner back at the top of the order, then Aaron Judge. Judge is just 1 for his last 23, and that was an infield single in this series, and the Blue Jays have handled him very effectively this season. He's at under 200 with just 3 home runs and 14 strikeouts. Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres in the 5th spot. And then Joey Gallo, Gary Sanchez, Tyler Wade gets a start at second base. DJ LeMahieu has had a bad series with the bat, and he gets the night off.
28th start of the season for Jose Barrios. You can't pitch much better than he has his last couple of starts. He takes his 10-7-3 55 earned run average into this game. He has been pounding that strike zone with that fastball curve changeup combination. And there's a strike.
Brett Gardner, he has the only extra base hit for the Yankees in this series. He is 4 for 9 against Barrios. Barrios is making his 6th career start, including a start in the postseason. He has 2 postseason appearances against the Yankees. 2017 he pitched in relief. In 2019 he started game 1 of the division series that the Yankees won in a 3-game sweep. There's an inside pitch fouled off.
And that's exactly what Brett Gardner is going to do now with 2 strikes. He's going to track that ball as long as he can. I think this is where Jose can expand the strike zone just a little bit right here and see if he'll go and fish for it, because he's going to just try and wait as long as he can and slap that ball to left field now with 2 strikes.
Missed upstairs, trying to run that ball away. Barrios has been terrific in his last 2 starts. He's made some minor adjustments we'll talk about as we get into this ball game. See the infield playing Gardner to pull, the outfield to the opposite field. Inside pitch. 2-2 now.
Gardner, I thought, set the table for him last night by taking a lot of pitches, trying to get Alek Manoah, get his pitch count up. Alek couldn't finish 6 innings, but this guy likes to set the table by seeing a lot of pitches.
A changeup off the plate. The appeal down to Edwin Moscoso, the third base umpire, said he didn't go around. It's a full count. Well, the Blue Jays done a pretty good job of minimizing the walks in this series. They did issue 4 walks in the game last night, but they had no walks in game 2 and no walks in the first game. 3-2 pitch. He walked him.
Well, that wouldn't hurt. After 0-2, he ends up walking him. Defensively for the Blue Jays, Gurriel, Grichuk, Hernandez tonight left to right in the outfield. Kevin Smith will get the start again over at third base. Bo Bichette, Marcus Semien up the middle. Vladdy over at his position over at first base. Danny Jansen caught Barrios last time, did a good job together, so he is back there. And Bo Bichette has been playing better shortstop. Last 35 games, 285 2/3 innings played, 121 total chances, just 2 errors. That's a .983 fielding percentage. Bo's been looking a little bit more comfortable at shortstop lately.
Now here's Aaron Judge, and Barrios falls behind. That walk that Barrios just issued to Brett Gardner, his first walk in 4 starts. Judge batting .291 on the season, but we mentioned the Blue Jays have held him to a .196 average this year. There's a good curveball in there for a strike. 1-1.
I think what the Blue Jays, especially the starters, have done is they've kept the pressure on the Yankee batters by pounding that strike zone, trusting their stuff and throwing a lot of quality strikes. Instead of nibbling on the corners, they've gone right after them.
Well, a couple of good curveballs right there from Barrios.
Down and away. Danny Jansen set up off the plate, but the glove is on the corner, and Barrios hits that glove. But again, stay aggressive. Go right after him. Keep the pressure on those hitters.
Comes right back with another hook, and it misses down. 2-2. The starters have been terrific. Manoah had a 3-run home run last night, but Bray has been great. He'll pitch tomorrow in Baltimore. Hyunjin Ryu, he too has been terrific, and they're always exchanging information. Ground ball. This should be 2. Bo to Simeon, back to first, a high throw. Judge hustled him down the line, and Simeon made a high throw, trying to rush it. Gardner really got down to second base in a hurry.
Yeah, and this is usually a double play. A good throw, and then a high throw from Simeon, who's usually pretty accurate, and it looks like he's going to be charged with an error as that ball goes into the dugout and out of play. Boy, that was unfortunate.
Well, it was a tailor-made double play ball, but credit Brett Gardner. He was all over Marcus Simeon, and I think Simeon felt the presence of Gardner sliding right at his feet, and it'll be the 8th error charged to Simeon this season. So here's Anthony Rizzo. Good curveball for a strike to start the at-bat. Rizzo is 2 for 6, and there's the impact of Gardner's slide at second. Nothing wrong with the slide by any means. He went straight into the base, and he got there in a hurry and really got into the double play and make Simeon throw that ball high to first.
Yeah, if you're not used to jumping out of the way or getting a little contact, that's going to happen. We haven't had that play happen in years now. Second basemen usually have a free and easy way to make that play, but he was anchored on that base. A lot of times second baseman will go either behind the bag or one side or another to avoid that tag. He was right on the bag, and unfortunately Gardner slid right into him.
Off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike. Anthony Rizzo is 6 for his last 15. He had a hit in the first inning and ended up 1 for 4 in last night's game. He had 2 hits against Steven Matz on Tuesday. He also had a 2 for 3 game in the opener Monday afternoon. Changeup missed away. 3-1 now.
You know, you've got first base open, and I know it's just the first inning. You have a lead, but I'd be careful with this guy right here. You got a couple of right-handers coming up after him who are prone to the strikeout. I'd be very careful with Rizzo right here with that base open over at first base.
Certainly no reason to give in to him. 3-1 pitch. He got him to pop up. It's playable. Foul ground. Kevin Smith in foul territory. He makes the catch, and Rizzo pops up on a 3-1 fastball.
Yeah, he got a pitch to hit and missed it. Swing straight up, and Barrios got a pretty good hitter in a hitter's count. Now he can work to Stanton, who's 0 for 2 in his career against Barrios with 2 strikeouts. That curveball could come into play right here in this at bat.
Stanton hitting .268 for the season, but he has 133 strikeouts. There are a lot of strikeouts in this Yankee lineup. And there's a first pitch strike. Good 2-seamer on the inside corner.
Yeah, I like that. That's where he likes to throw it. He would throw it a lot. That arm side 2-seamer could work against these righties, but he's been coming glove side 2-seamer a lot lately too. So a couple of different pitches can give you trouble.
Boy, he buries that fastball on the inside corner down around the knees, so he is in the driver's seat here. 0-2, 2 outs. Aaron Judge at second. There's a good breaking ball, but Stanton wouldn't go after it. 1-2 now.
Yeah, he might be looking for it now with 2 strikes. Barely moved on that one, like he saw it out of his hand. They've had some success in this series by pounding him in and pounding him up.
And they go right back to that same spot and get a pop-up. Vladdy is there, and that'll do it. Nice job by Jose Barrios. He pitches around the air by Simeon. We'll go to the second. The Blue Jays with an early 1-0 lead. Win the Jays Care special Big Apple Jackpot. Sales close tonight at 10 Eastern. Support Blue Jays Care. Support Jays Care and buy your tickets now at bluejays.com/5050. And the jackpot is up over 15,000. So make sure you don't get shut out. It closes tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Nestor Cortez Jr. misses with the first breaking ball to Randall Grichuk. Grichuk starting in center field tonight. He had a base hit in his 2 plate appearances last night. Came in defensively. Actually pinch hit in the game last night in the 6th inning for Corey Dickerson. Randall for the season is averaged down to 240, but he's been productive. 21 homers and 78 RBIs, and he takes a mighty cut, swings and misses.
Yeah, I like that he was able to get a couple of at-bats in yesterday's ball game. He got a base hit also. That's good managing there. Knowing that he would play today, you want to give him an at-bat, get him ready. Maybe he can do something special tonight.
That's such a great point. Managers are always aware of, and Charlie makes out his lineup a day or two before when he looks at the pitching matchups, and he knew Randall was going to start this game tonight, so he got him into each of the last 2 games. Give him a chance to get some at-bats and take full advantage of facing the lefty. Off the plate outside, it's a full count. Corey Dickerson has started in center field in the absence of George Springer, and Grichuk is back out there tonight. Jake Lamb had a sac fly, and Gerard Dyson scored a run. They all contributed, and there's a foul, just barely foul down the left side. The Blue Jays have done a nice job of complimenting their bench. They brought in some important pieces. First it was Dickerson, and then it was Dyson, and most recently Jake Lamb, and they all had an impact in this series.
There was a time this year that they had 3 men on the bench. That was it, the backup catcher and 2 other players, because they wanted to play or use some more pitchers, carry some more pitchers. Now they got a lot of flexibility. They've got 6 guys on the bench that they can go to. They can all play multiple positions.
And now, of course, the rosters are expanded to 28 players, so it gives you a little more flexibility. Alejandro Kirk has earned the right to be the DH in the absence of George Springer. Springer looked pretty good swinging the bat today in BP. So hopefully he'll be able to play soon, but they're going to be cautious with him. That's bounced foul on the curveball. I mean, they want Springer to play, obviously, but Pat, we saw it the last few games he was in the lineup. He's not effective right now. He just doesn't have a good foundation, doesn't have a good base under him.
Yeah, especially that front leg. You're trying to twist on it when you make a swing. Charlie Montoya was asked, can he pinch hit tonight? And he says, we'll see. There's a chance he might play over the weekend in Baltimore, but that's what they always say.
Ball is hit hard, and Judge runs it down in right field. Rando hit it on the line to the right fielder. That's the first out here in the second. And we mentioned the Blue Jays have won 7 in a row, and lately, since the 27th of August, they have 10 wins. And when you look at where they rank in the major leagues, Pat, they are up there in offense and in pitching.
Yeah, they're winning the close games. They've had a lot of 1-run wins. They've had some comeback wins. They've had a couple of blowouts in there, and that's what happens when everything starts to click in. When the pitching starts to mesh with the hitting and the defense, and the bullpen's been good again. Charlie Montoya knows that. He knows his team's working and making things happen right now. And right now, as a manager, all you do is just ride it. Put the lineup card in there, make good decisions, and ride these hot bats and hot pitchers.
Danny Jansen hitting in the 8th spot tonight. He lays off that curveball away. 2 balls and a strike to the Blue Jays catcher. Jansen got out to a tough start with the bat, and then he suffered 2 separate hamstring injuries, 2 different stints on the IL. So Danny has just 136 at bats this season, but he's been relatively productive. He's got 7 homers and 12 ribbies. He fouls off that inside fastball. Jansen at Yankee Stadium has always enjoyed hitting here. He's got a .327 average in 16 previous games with a couple of long balls. Last 8 games he's up to .350, and there's a sidearm delivery of fastball, and Jansen strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Cortez Jr.
Cortez will do that. He will drop down, and a lot of times those batters are thinking slider, but he throws fastball from that 3/4 delivery. And he'll do it to righties or he'll do it to lefties. And a lot of times against the righties, it's on the outside corner. You're expecting when guys drop down 3/4 like that, it's going to be a slider. It's going to be a fastball when he throws it.
There's a fastball strike to Kevin Smith. Kevin just 3 for 16 since he's come up from the minors. In a home run in Detroit, his first big league home run, his only RBI, his only extra base hit. He's played well at third. He's committed just 1 error. Playing defensively at third base. This is his 8th start at third. Boy, isn't it interesting, Pat, how quickly teams exploit weaknesses? We have seen Kevin. He's got a little bit of an issue with the high fastball, and everybody's going right to it.
Yeah, and I think he knows that, and he will figure out how to hit that ball eventually, and then they try to throw something down and away. But you're right, the word passes around the league very quickly. You know, everybody's got scouting reports and everything's on television right now, and right now teams are really pounding him up with the fastball.
There's another sidearm heater for a strikeout. First time through the order Cortez has 4 strikeouts, but the Blue Jays lead it 1-0.
He was tipping some of his pitches, so when they went back into the lab to make adjustments, yes, they changed some of the hand placement, but there was so much more than that. And that included minimizing his movements, which will reduce tells to a hitter. And they're keeping Jose's head still so he's not rocking back and forth. But perhaps most of all, it's Berrios' arm slot. That's been a focus because when he gets that slot low, the breaking ball gets flat and more hittable. But when the arm slot is up, it gives such depth to the breaking ball. And the Blue Jays have been so impressed with the quality of athlete Berrios is and what kind of competitor they have with him. He didn't succumb to the struggles, persevered, and even with all the pressure he puts on himself to succeed, he's been able to come out on the other end of it. Buck?
Yeah, he's made some nice adjustments, and part of that arm slot has to do with keeping his chest more upright so he can get to that arm slot. And we talk about it all the time. Pete Walker identified that by going over his head, he might have been tipping his pitches. There's a ground ball to third, a high throw, but Vladdy stays on the bag to pull it down. 1 down.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? You know, Pete Walker, he's a great pitching coach, first of all, but he can take a guy he's never worked before with, watch him, and then find something that's going to help him click. He did it with Ross Stripling when Ross came to the team last year. Berrios comes here, has 4 or 5 starts, notices something, and I take my cap off to those veteran players, those veteran pitchers who've been doing it a long time, and they are willing to listen to a new pitching coach and have something that he has something to say, and it has helped them.
There's Joey Gallo. He takes a first pitch strike, and that's well said, Pat, because all you got to do is look around at this pitching staff. Robbie Ray has bounced back and flourished under the guidance of Pete Walker. Steven Matz, Ross Stripling, Berrios, Manoah. It goes on and on and on. There's a high fly ball, and that's going to stay in the ballpark. Teoscar is there. 2 down. Well, you talk about Pete Walker and his adjustments, and he's got Berrios moving to the middle of the rubber as well, and the results have been very impressive in his last 2 starts. Notice, no walks, 18 strikeouts.
I mean, you cannot pitch any better the way he has. 11 strikeouts against Detroit, He came right back with that big game against Oakland. He's all around the strike zone. You know, he's always been a strike thrower, but his stuff seemed to have a little bit of more his last couple of starts. And I'm sure that has to go back to the mechanics that he's been working on and the things that he and Pete have been putting together.
And one thing that was kind of a red flag as he jumps ahead of Gary Sanchez was the start against the White Sox. It was his fourth start of the season against Chicago, and they had seen him very well. And so when they start hitting pitches that they shouldn't have had good swings on, I think that's when Pete Walker said, hey, I'm going to go into the video and see if I can't pick something up. And you know, everybody thinks that you could just look at a pitcher and say, okay, I see what he's doing. It's very obvious. It's not obvious. There are some very subtle things that somebody might pick up. There's another weak fly ball. Gurriel coming in, and we'll talk more about Barrios, who's off to a good start as this game continues. We move to the third inning. Bo Bichette has staked the Blue Jays to a 1-0 lead. He'll lead things off in the third. Get in-game highlights, breaking news, leaderboards, and more for your Toronto Blue Jays. And if you had that app, you'd know that Bo Bichette went deep his first time up, and Bo clocked this one.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. This is no cheapie right here from Bo Bichette. His first home run in 10 games, leading off the ball game. 408 feet deep to left field. He got all of that. It was a pitch on the inner half, and you make a mistake in there, and good hitters like Bo Bichette are going to hurt you.
Third home run Bo has hit here at Yankee Stadium. Good to see his power back. As you mentioned, it had been a little bit of a home run drought for him. It's another one down the left field line. That's hooking, and it's going to be just short of the mark and foul. They made another bid for a home run just out in front. Bo's hit 7 career home runs against the Yankees. This is his 30th career game.
You remember the walk-off down in Dunedin, down the left field line right there, just a couple feet foul. That was a walk-off to deep right field, if you remember that one down in Dunedin earlier this year.
That was off Chad Green, the big right-hander. 0-1, we're in the third. Breaking ball. Missed away. It's a ball and a strike to Bo. 288 for the season. Bichette now with 83 RBI. Ground ball sharply hit through the infield into center. Bo's 2 for 2 leading off.
I think he likes leading off. He's had 2 really good swings against Nestor Cortez. The home run and this one keeps that front shoulder in and drives that thing right back through the middle. So compact, so dangerous. You can see the different swings. The home run was 2 strikes. He kept his foot down. That time he had that patented high leg kick.
So here's Marcus Semien. He's got a hit already. And they check in on Bo. Bo's only been caught once this season. He's 21 for 22 in steal attempts. Outside. Gary Sanchez, the catcher's had all kinds of problems with base stealers. He's caught just 4 of 45 this year. Vladdy Guerrero will bat next. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Ball in the dirt. Obviously, the Blue Jays are well aware that Gary Sanchez has problems on blocking balls, and anything in the dirt, they're going to be on their toes looking to advance. There's a fly ball into right, not deep. Judge moving back just a couple of steps. He makes the catch. Semien's retired. And now a message from DoorDash.
Enjoy $0 delivery fees for your first month with DoorDash, official on-demand delivery platform for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, Vladdy Guerrero, we mentioned he struck out his first time up on a high fastball. It's the third at bat he's had against Mr. Cortez. Vladdy's reached base in 19 straight games. Marcus Semien has extended his games reaching base to 16, and Vladdy didn't want to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, that's the one you take right there. That's that inside cutter that as it starts to break to you, it's going to break off the plate. You got to look for the ball out over the plate. His next RBI will be 100. Trying to become the youngest Blue Jay ever to drive in 100 runs in a single season.
And Vladdy has established lots of records for offensive production by a young hitter. He doesn't hit like he's 22. Boy, he gets to that pitch, but it's well foul. He got out in front of that one. That cut her down and in.
And Charlie Montoya was talking about keeping Semien Guerrero back to back because they've been so hot. Together between them, they've had 79 combined home runs this year. I mean, that's what you want to do. Put the pressure on them. They have tied Edwin Encarnacion and Josh Donaldson for the most duo home runs in Blue Jay history.
Cortez tried to sneak that slider on the outside corner. That time he dropped down and threw a slider. First time he's done that. In previous sidearm deliveries, they've all been fastballs. So he's mixing it up a little bit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's down. Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire. Very positive call on that.
Yeah, he leaned in on that one and called it right away. You can see Gary Sanchez trying to sell it. He's down on that one knee, but as it crosses the plate, it's just above that shin guard that Vladdy has. You can tell that that one was down.
3-2 pitch. Vladdy fouls it down the right side. Bo was not running, and Vladdy has once again created a conversation about the Triple Crown. His batting average has climbed back up to .320. First in the American League. He's third in home runs behind Ohtani and Perez. 5 RBIs behind Sal Perez. So it's a very interesting race that will continue through the month of September into October. Vladdy hits it on the ground. Urshela to second for 1. Back to first, a double play. That's just the second double play the Blue Jays have hit into in this series. So we'll go to the bottom of the third. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Yanks against Barrios. Take on these Yankees in Toronto later this month. Single game tickets for all remaining home games are on sale now. Socially distanced seating options available on the 100 and 200 levels. Visit BlueJays.com for tickets. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. It'll be Tyler Wade, Gio Urshela, and back to the top of the order, Brett Gardner. Wade getting the start at second base, hitting .282 on the season. He has just 110 at bats. Very versatile guy with some speed. There's another strike on that outside corner. It's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, I like that. You can tell they're trying to take pitches again, trying to get that pitch count up, and Barrios is just, hey, here's my fastball. If you want to take it, fall behind, go right ahead.
That is such a good way to pitch, especially when you're down in the order. When you talk about Barrios not walking anybody until he issued that walk to Gardner to start the game. But you put the hitters on their heels when you throw a lot of strikes. And there's a curveball that missed down and in, 2-2.
But you have to stay aggressive. After that walk, he was ahead of Gardner, 0-2, walked him. He didn't come around to score. Then he started getting aggressive with Rizzo and Stanton, Torres, and Gallo. especially down in the lineup. Go right after him.
Ground ball. Guerrero will go to the bag and beat Wade there. One down.
Get league-leading savings during Home Hardware's Fall Savings Sale. On now until September 22nd, only at Home Hardware and Building Centers. Here's how.
The Yankees have had just one base runner. That was the leadoff walk, and then Judge hit into a fielder's choice. Gardner was erased at second. It should have been a double play ball. So Urshela, the third baseman. He's had a tough series, as Doug Eddings may have gotten hit on his left hand on that foul ball. The umpire. Urshela really had some problems facing Steven Matz, as he had a couple of strikeouts in an 0 for 4 game. He had a single in 3 at bats on Monday, the opener. Ball and a strike. Urshela hitting .260 on the season. He's been dealing with a couple of different injuries. Just 3 for 29 since coming off the injured list. Good changeup.
You think he's still looking for a fastball from Steven Matz? I mean, he was sitting on the fastball the whole game, and Steven kept throwing him changeups like this right here. This changeup had him way out in front. I think we know what the game plan is going to be against Gio Urshela.
Ground ball up the middle. Bo behind second. Throws in a hurry. Not in time. Danny Jansen was backing up the play. The ball hit the netting in front of the Yankees dugout. So it'll be an infield hit for Urshela.
You know, Jose Barrios is an excellent fielder, but he let that one go. He had thoughts of maybe going to go try and get it, but then let it go. And then Bichette did everything he could. That's an impossible play to make. He's going hard to his left. You have to stop, transfer, throw on the run. You can't get your body turned around enough to accurately get it over there. He did everything he could, so it'll go as an infield hit. The Yankees' first hit.
Another single by the Bronx Bombers. Blue Jays have really taken the sting out of the bat so far in this series. Here's Brett Gardner. He walked his first time up. First pitch changeup as Barrios gets ahead. Blue Jays with a 1-0 lead on a Bo Bichette leadoff home run, and there's another changeup right down Broadway.
Yeah, taking. If you're going to take, just keep pounding it in there, jump ahead, and then you can go ahead and expand. This is a typical Gardner at bat. This is where he was his first time up. He was down 0-2 and ended up walking. Blue Jays are going to play him to pull.
And he slashes that one left field.
Yeah, he's such a tough at bat. And Alek Manoah was trying to finish him off, and he threw a fastball. And this tied the ball game up right here. A 3-run home run for Brett Gardner, our 24th home run in his career against the Blue Jays, and he's not a home run hitter. Alek, after the game, was questioning his pitch selection there, and said, you know, it's a learning process. I might go with something different the next time I face him in that situation. But Gardner's always been a tough out for the Blue Jays.
Well, he sure has, and you know what? The way you avoid that is you don't get to 3-2. You try to get an early resolution to the at bat. So Gardner in the hole, 1-2. Judges on deck as Gio Urshela had a 1-out infield single, the first hit for New York. Breaking ball fouled out of play. Boy, Gardner, he just puts up a fight. 2 strikes, it doesn't make any difference. He's going to be short and quick, just trying to protect the plate.
Yeah, he's liking this leadoff position also. They had him hitting down in the order until yesterday. This is where he's most comfortable, where he can really work the pitcher, see a lot of pitches. He's just a tough out. You know, and then you look up and you look at his numbers. He came into this game hitting .217. I'm like, how's this guy hitting .217? This guy has been tough on the Jays.
Well, right there, he got fooled badly on a curveball from Barrios and waved at the ball that bounced on home plate. Unusual for Brett Gardner, but he was fooled dramatically by Barrios.
He must have had a pitch in mind, or he must have picked something up thinking he was going to get a fastball, because he had swing on his mind, and wherever the ball was, he was going to swing at it. Barrios crossed him up through the breaking ball, picked up his first strikeout.
You just don't see that with Brett Gardner when he has 2 strikes. He didn't take too many wild swings. That one was out of character. Aaron Judge bounces it through the right side. Urshela will stop at second for Judge. That's just his second hit in his last 25 at bats, and it's another ground ball single.
Yeah, sometimes you have to cut your swing down and just survive. Aaron Judge, I mean, if you're the Blue Jays, you'll take that as opposed to what he has done in the past with those home runs. You want him going the other way on the ground like that. Got beat a little bit on that pitch.
It's going to be interesting now with Urshela at second, Judge at first, and Anthony Rizzo coming up. Rizzo popped out in foul territory his first time up. Popped out to the third baseman, Kevin Smith. It was a 3-1 pitch. Well, that's a good pitch right there. That swing back fastball gets ahead of him.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's a good pitch to Rizzo right there, so he doesn't get those arms extended. We've talked about it in this series. He's right on top of the plate looking for something out over the plate. Not a bad pitch right there to jam him up.
He jammed him right there. Bo comes after it, makes the play, and that'll do it. The Yankees get a couple of singles, but they strand a pair. Barrios makes another good pitch on Anthony Rizzo. Still 1-0 Jays.
It's been a heck of a week for Teoscar Hernandez. He scored the game-winning run last night to keep this winning streak alive, and a few days back, home run number 100 of his career, which Teoscar admitted last night to me means a lot to him. That he's endured the ups and downs in his career, that he's been able to find success and remain in the big leagues. And now this, for someone who's been part of the Blue Jays rebuild and the down years, a chance at a playoff race and meaningful September baseball. That, Teoscar said, is what it's all about. That, he said, Buck, is what makes this month's push to the postseason all the more special.
Absolutely, especially when you kind of grow up with the team. When you think about it, Teoscar got traded to the Blue Jays very young in his career, so he kind of grew up as a Blue Jay and had some ups and downs. He got sent back to the minors in 2019, but he went to work. He didn't take it as a negative. He took it as an opportunity to get better, and boy, has he gotten better. There's a sidearm fastball again. That one missed down. Teoscar, he made some adjustments starting last year, Pat, and boy, he has been true to his routine. He hasn't deviated very often.
I asked him the other day about that. I said, you know, what do you do when you're struggling to get back to where you were when you were hot? And he said, you know what? I have to trust my routine. I got to come out every day and trust what I'm working on is going to get me back into it. Whatever that is, go back through the middle, hit the ball the other way, shorten my swing, you know, maybe don't take as wild of cut. But he said, if I trust my routine and I trust the things that I'm working on, I know I'm going to hit. That's confidence. That's being experienced and being in the big leagues a while to understand who you are.
and you have so many good hitters around you, you can always pick up something just by watching the other hitter, some of your teammates. This ball is hit in the air, but Gardner is there in the center as Teoscar is retired. First out here in the fourth.
Cortez has settled down a little bit now. He got 1, 2, 3 second, a leadoff single in the third, but then the double play bailed him out. Now that line drive right at the center fielder, so he's calmed himself down after that leadoff home run.
He's up to 63 pitches. He has thrown over 100 pitches recently. Just a couple of starts ago. That changeup is off the plate outside. 2 starts ago, he threw 104 pitches over 7 innings against the Twins right here at Yankee Stadium. He left that game leading 8-0. Cutter taken for ball 2 by Alejandro Kirk. That's the only time Cortez has thrown over 100 pitches, and Kirk gets underneath it and hits it to left field. Gallo waiting on it. He makes the catch a few steps in front of the warning track. 2 down.
Is the all-new 2022 Honda Civic finally here? Yes. See more at honda.ca.
Blue Jays with a 1-0 lead. Bo Bichette hit the leadoff home run off of Nestor Cortez. The Blue Jays this season, when they have a leadoff home run, they're 5-2 as a team. Bo hitting in the leadoff spot with the left-hander on the mound. Here's Gurriel. Takes it inside. It's a ball and a strike to Lourdes. Gurriel was called out on a bad pitch to end the first inning. It was off the plate away, and it looked like another ball. That was a pivotal pitch for Cortez, as this one is popped up. Rizzo's got room, and that'll do it. Blue Jays go down quickly in the fourth. 3 up, 3 down. Cortez has locked himself in after a shaky start in the first. Barrios hasn't missed a beat. Jays have been in existence since 1977, and they played a lot of games with the Yankees, but this is back in May of 2003. Roy Halladay against the Yankees. He starts a 4-game sweep. Andy Pettitte was on the mound, and Carlos Delgado hits a home run. Halladay went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs, and that was the first game of the 4-game sweep. It's the only time the Blue Jays have swept the Yankees in a 4-game series here at Yankee Stadium, and it's the last time the Yankees have been swept at home in a 4-game series, way back in 2003.
Yeah, so Blue Jays have an excellent opportunity to repeat that tonight. Boy, that would go a long way for what they're trying to do here the last couple of weeks of the season, and to come in here. 3's great, but when you take the first 3 in a series, you want that 4th game.
Well, what a difference it makes, too. You just have to win the 4th game, and you're chasing the Yankees. They're ahead of you, and you got to make sure you complete the sweep. And Barrios, he's doing his part so far. Quickly ahead of Stanton. 0-2. He threw the curveball for strike 1 and gets him to foul off the high fastball. That changeup missed downstairs. Barrios been very efficient, just 49 pitches to this point in the game. Only has 1 strikeout. That was Brett Gardner in the 3rd. Another changeup. That's a fair ball. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And Stanton is around first. He better hurry up. The close play, and he's safe. Boy, Stanton just looked like he was jogging around first, and Gurriel's got a terrific arm, and he made it close at second.
Boy, the throw beat him by a mile also, and Marcus had some time to drop that glove down. Let's see, he's there. Boy, it sure looked like he got him on that knee. I don't know if the Blue Jays are going to take a look at that, but he had time to drop that glove down right there and get him before he gets to the bag. Stanton there, then he's not there.
Ooh. He got him.
That
Looked like he got him on the leg before he extended that left hand. Tough play for the umpire, no question. Well, that's going to be a tough one to overturn for sure. But Stanton, I don't think he expected it to be close at all the way he ran around first. Well, you can't fault the umpire, Ryan Blakeney, for his positioning. He is right on top of the play. You see, he actually swiped him on the leg there, and he's out. You can see the pant leg giving way to the tag before the hand is on the base. If they have that replay, he's out. But Marcus was determined to put the tag on Stanton.
Stanton did a nice job of sliding, stopping, and then rolling over like that to try to avoid it. That's why I was a little bit surprised that Marcus, who's sure-handed, he has seen all those kind of slides before, that they called him safe on that one replay. And you're right, Buck. I hope they show that one replay. He tagged him on the leg before that hand tagged the bag. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Good job by the replay, and Gurriel celebrates another outfield assist, his 12th of the season, and he got a nice assist from Simeon in the tag. But look at Stanton, the way he's running, just like he expects it to be a routine double.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Doesn't he know who's out there? That's Lourdes Gurriel with his 12th outfield assist for a left fielder. He was just assuming that that was going to be a double, and the Blue Jays catch a break by a great play by Gurriel.
And Gurriel's always hustling, and his infield background really pays off because it gets to the ball and gets it back in quickly. Tied for second among outfielders, and of course Hunter Renfroe had 2 outfield assists last night in the Red Sox win at Fenway. And he ended the game on a terrific throw from center. You should take another look at the play by Gurriel.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, the infield background. Grab it with your bare hand. You don't have to crow hop, wind up because you're an outfielder who snaps that ball. He gets him with that play. That's a great play.
And then Torres strikes out as he goes after a high fastball. So what a turnaround. Could have been a leadoff double, and now after the review overturns the call at second. Torres strikes out, and there's 2 down and nobody out.
And probably a 4-man outfield now with Joey Gallo coming up. Blue Jays will use that 4-man outfield at times with Gallo at the plate, nobody on.
So here's Joey Gallo. He popped up to shallow right field and misses that first pitch fastball. Boy, I tell you what, Jose Barrios is pitching with the ultimate confidence right now. You can see it in his body language. When he gets the ball back, he sets his glove at his belt, and he looks for the next sign, and he's ready to deal. Another swing and a miss, 0-2. Pat, you've faced pitchers like this when they're working quickly and you know that they feel good about what they're featuring.
Yeah, I hated it because, like I said, it put the pressure on you. You're like, what does this guy know that I don't know? He's feeling pretty confident out there that he can get me out. That's when you want to step out and slow him down just a little bit.
Now, we saw Brett Gardner do that earlier in this game. In this series, excuse me, where he stepped out and slowed Steven Matz down. And you see the 4-man outfield employed by the Blue Jays here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. He got him. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, and a terrific throw from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. from left field. The Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead into the 5th. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie and Joe. Always tell you to keep your eye on the ball. Try the Blue Jays Hat Shuffle presented by New Era today. Choose the right hat and get a special offer from New Era. Download the Ballpark app and go to the Blue Jays team page to play today. The old hat shuffle's been around forever. I can remember one of the first things we used to see on the scoreboard was that hat shuffle. Hide the baseball and shuffle those hats. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. made another terrific throw. He's got 12 outfield assists. He's tied for second in the majors in that category. Another good ball game here in New York. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Randall Grichuk lined out sharply to right field back in the second. That cutter beat him on the inside part of the plate. It's 1-1.
You know, there are pitchers, Buck, who get you out up and down, or they try to speed you up and slow you down. Cortez is that kind of guy. He's in and out. You know, you watch him. For a right-handed batter, cutter in, he'll go out. He'll go out. Then he'll come in. Then he'll go out. So you got to guess with him and look for the ball in a certain area. There he is again, away after a couple of pitches in. So you go up there early in the count and say, okay, I'm going to look for the ball in early on, and I'm going to try and turn on it. And then chances are he's going to go back outside with that cutter. So in and out, that's all you're facing right now, and that's what you're looking for.
Side on fastball. He missed the outside corner. 2-2 now. Looks like they're doing a repair job on that netting in front of the Blue Jays dugout. Boy, you remember the days when there wasn't any netting in there, Pat? Everybody really had to keep your eye on the ball.
I was watching something the other day. Oakland, that's where it was. Eloy Jimenez got a foul ball in the dugout. There's no fencing in front of the dugouts in Oakland. He got a foul ball right off the knee and actually had to leave the ball game because of that. And it looked strange that there wasn't any fencing in front of the dugout because you're so used to it now. And it's the best thing that they've done. That and the netting all around the field. It's the best thing they've done at ballparks in the last few years.
No question. The balls are hit so hard, and they are so hard and come into the dugout so quickly. And you know what? Those dugouts are like concrete pillboxes, and you get a ball in there, it'll rattle around for a long time. So, yeah, it was a good move to put that netting in front of the dugouts. This is popped up behind home and over the screen. Remember years ago when Joe Torre was managing, Don Zimmer was his bench coach, and Zimmer got hit by a foul ball, and that's what prompted the Yankees to put up that first netting in front of their dugouts. And you remember the pictures of Zimmer wearing an Army helmet in the dugout.
That's right. That's right.
Randa hits one high and deep to left, and this one's gonna go. Goodbye home run. Randall Grichuk hits one deep to left field, his 22nd of the season, and the Blue Jays extend their lead.
Yeah, just we were talking about earlier about getting him some at-bats, knowing that he was going to play today, try to get that timing back. Randall is a run producer. Forget about the batting average. Forget about the on-base percentage. What are you producing? Well, he's got 22 homers and 79 RBIs now. And that's what I like. They got him a couple of at-bats yesterday. Get him ready for this one, and it pays off in a big way for the Blue Jays.
Randall Grichuk has seen 19 pitches in his 2 at-bats. And that's his second career home run against Nestor Cortez Jr. And he is sporting that home run jacket now. A couple of long home runs for the Blue Jays. Danny Jansen hits one in the air to right. Judge is there. He'll make the catch, and Jansen's retired.
It's been a while for Randall. His last home run came August the 21st. That was versus Detroit. What a great feeling that must be right there. Catch that high cutter, and you know you've got it. Just lay the bat down and get into that home run trot. 22 long ones now for Randall Grichuk.
Here's Kevin Smith, and he goes after that first pitch. The Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead. You're watching Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet, presented by TD. We're in the 5th. Well, Bichette hit a leadoff home run. Randall Grichuk has a leadoff home run here in this inning, and there's a hot shot to third, handled by Urshela. Smith is retired, 2 down.
That's why they have him in there. He can pick it over there at third base. Some sweet hands. Made an error here in this series already. Kevin Smith thinks he's got an extra base hit, but Urshela says, tough to get it by me. Get down, field it off to the side. You're a lot quicker that way. And then a routine throw to first.
And here's Bo once again. He's already 2 for 2 in this game. It's his 47th multi-hit game of the season. It ties him with Trey Turner for the second most multi-hit games in the majors. Jonathan Scope of the Tigers has 48 multi-hit games. And Grichuk, good feeling for Randall. His playing time has been reduced lately, but that's a big swing of the bat for Randall here in the 5th.
Yeah, playing against the lefty. Doing anything to contribute. That's got to be a great feeling.
Ball on his strike 2. Bo. Fouled it off. Cortez missed his spot trying to go away and got it inside. .85 pitches. Blue Jays have made Cortez throw a lot of pitches. There's a good fastball swing and a miss. Bo's retired for the first time today. His 5th strikeout for Cortez, but Randall Grichuk has a leadoff home run here in the 5th. The Blue Jays have hit 2 solo shots and have a 2-0 lead. Blue Jays red hot September continue. It's the Jays and the Orioles tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern Time. Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet is presented by TD. A 4-game series in 3 days, and Robbie Ray will open things up for the Blue Jays. Ross Stripling will probably make the start in one of the games on a doubleheader. And Randall Grichuk, a proud owner of a home run inside, and that nicked Gary Sanchez. So that snaps a streak of 10 straight first pitch strikes delivered by Jose Barrios. He had thrown 13 of 15 first pitch strikes, and here he just barely grazes Gary Sanchez.
Looks like it might have been a changeup. That's one thing that Jose has done better over his last 2 starts coming into this one. The first pitch strike percentage up 20% from his first 5 starts as a Blue Jay. That's been the key for him tonight. Get ahead.
And he comes right back with a first pitch changeup to get ahead of Tyler Wade. Wade grounded out to Guerrero back in the 3rd. Barrios has got that good moving fastball that could get him a ground ball right here. Upstairs, it's cut on and foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. It's 0-2.
This fastball's got some life, especially up in the strike zone tonight. It's fastball, curveball, changeup. That's what he's going to feature. But if you can move that fastball around, two-seam it, sink it on the outside part of the plate, inside part of the plate. Now you've got a couple of different ways you can get a guy out.
0-2, just missed upstairs, and Wade wouldn't chase it. Number 9 hitter Gio Urshela is on deck. And an infield single, his first time up. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead. There's a good pitch upstairs at 96, fouled out. Blue Jays trying to complete this 4-game sweep. As we mentioned earlier, the last time the Blue Jays swept the Yankees in a 4-game series here in New York was way back in May of 2003. Pete Walker, the pitching coach, actually pitched twice in that series, and he had a hold in game 2. Changeup swung on and missed. Another beautiful pitch by Barrios. That's 4 strikeouts so far.
You know, sometimes changeups go down, sometimes they just stay on target and they just take a little something off. He has that ability to get that side spin where he can sink it and make that ball go away from the lefties on his changeup. Look at that spin going down and away. Just an excellent pitch to finish him off. 4th strikeout of the night for Berríos. He expands just a little bit. It's a big out.
There's a curveball, a little flatter curveball right there. Missed upstairs to Urshela. The single in the 3rd inning was a ground ball up the middle. Bo made a play on it, but he couldn't deliver on the throw. It was right behind the bag at second. Another breaking ball missed. It's 2-0. Berríos is making his 4th career regular season start against the Yankees. He is 1-2 with a .579 earned run average coming into this game. One thing about Berríos, he does a pretty good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's only given up 2 home runs to the Yankees in those 3 previous starts, and there's a good fastball.
Yeah, he's got a good fastball tonight. Those last couple breaking balls, he got underneath it. Yankees for their career have hit .293 against Jose. And walks have played a part in that. You know, when you start walking guys, especially in this ballpark against the Yankees, that's when they pop one. Just keep pounding that strike zone.
Well, you couldn't have placed those last 2 fastballs in a better spot than Berríos did. 2 sinking fastballs right at the bottom of the zone. One on the inside corner, one on the outside corner. 2-2 now. Sanchez hit first. He was hit by a pitch to start this inning. Pulled that one off the plate outside. It's a full count.
Yeah, trying to reach back for a little something extra here. Yankees don't run a lot. They're built more about on-base percentage and some power. They do have some people who can run, but I don't think they're going to start the runner here.
Sanchez is not running, and there's a ground ball. Berríos goes to second, right on the money to Bo. Boy, what a nice throw by the pitcher. Berríos, we told you, he's a great athlete and a good fielder. Bo was a stride away from the bag, and he put it right on the money for the shortstop. Inning-ending double play.
He has just remained so steady, really unflappable through much of this. And I had to ask Simeon the other day if he's taken a moment to appreciate the tear that he's been on. Just 3 homers shy of 40. He told me he has, that he goes back to watch swings like these. But more than that, he is a feel guy. So the way Marcus explained it was, I want to remember the feelings I had when I was doing well, like I have been this week. Simeon admitted he has seen the ball pretty well of late, and most of all, he just wants to continue to stay on the fastball, which he has been doing, and Buck, he has been having a ton of success with it.
Rashi's having a terrific month of September. He's first in the major leagues in home runs with 6, and he's among many leaders in those categories. And, you know, Pat, this is the beauty of Marcus Simeon. He wants to play every day, and you never know when you're going to get hot. But if you're in the ball game, you always got a chance to get hot. He takes one right down the middle for a strike.
And like you said, he loves to play every day. Just pencil me in there. I don't want to DH. I want to play defense, and I want to play offense. So Charlie Montoya just puts him in there. And to put his season into context, you know, for a Blue Jay primary infielder, when it comes to home runs, Vladdy's hit more than him. Only Vladdy, Josh Donaldson, Tony Batista, and Carlos Delgado. The only primary infielders in Blue Jay history who have hit more home runs than Marcus has. And he still has about 3 weeks to go to add to his total.
He pops this one up near the mound. That's the first baseman, Rizzo, and that one was up there a long time. You could see Rizzo shuffling his feet. He didn't know if that thing was ever going to come down. But it finally did, and Simeon is retired. One down here in the 6th.
And he'd like to have that one back. You could see him shaking his head. He would time that thing up, and he was on it He singled his first time up, flew out to right field, and would like to have that pitch back because that was right where he liked it.
There's Vladdy Guerrero Jr. He has struck out and hit into a double play. Cortes has mixed up the pitches very effectively against Vladdy. And took something off that pitch and gets a swing and a miss.
Yeah, cutter, slider, in, out, pick a spot, pick a pitch, sit on it, and wait till he throws it there.
And there's a fastball in a good spot. 1-2. Cortes was born in Cuba and grew up in Hialeah, Florida. The Yankees drafted him in the 36th round back in 2013. And he rushed that pitch and bounced it on home plate. Cortes up to 95 pitches now. I mentioned he's only had one start this season that he has thrown 100 pitches or more. But he hits it toward the end of the bat. Joey Gallo moves over a few steps to his left and makes the catch. 2 down.
He's done a nice job of keeping the Blue Jays off balance. Vladdy upset with himself again. That was another pitch to hit, but he upset the timing enough, and you described it perfectly. Hit it right off the end of the bat, still drove it out to left field, and he would like to have that pitch back.
Teoscar Hernandez had a double in the first inning, and that would push Simeon over to third. So it was second and third with 1 out in the first inning, and Cortes was able to get Alejandro Kirk on a shallow fly ball to right and struck out Gurriel to strand those 2 base runners. Blue Jays could have put a crooked number on the board in the first, but Cortes pitched his way out of it. Teoscar with the count in his favor, 2 balls and no strikes. Goes after that high cutter and fouled it back. The home run has been a problem for Cortes. He's given up 2 tonight. That is 9 in his last 7 games. That's been an issue. Missed with that slider inside.
3-1. Does he challenge him here? Blue Jays could use any run they could get now. Get a little breathing room.
That hit Cortes in the foot and is going to bounce into center field as Teoscar gets on base. His second hit of the game. He's 2 for 3. Cortes not in any kind of pain.
Yeah, that one might have been at the second baseman Wade, who was playing behind the pitcher, but when it ricocheted off of his foot, I think comes back there so quick. Can't get out of the way and actually kicks it into the outfield for a base hit. You see right away he gives thumbs up that he's okay. Blue Jays have had some pitches to hit. That sometimes they have. That time they did. Hernandez checking on him.
So Matt Blake is out to talk to Cortes. He's now thrown over 100 pitches, and that is Sal Romano. He has just been added to the roster, and he's had quite a season. He has been back and forth. He started his career with the Cincinnati Reds back in 2017 as a starter. He pitched as a starter in 17 and 18, and then he has bounced around. He was DFA'd by Milwaukee, and the Yankees, in desperate need for some innings, have added him here tonight.
Yeah, they lost a pitcher in Krisky. He's off the roster. Romano's back in, and they need some fresh arms down in that bullpen as that lead. You can see that lead for the Yankees is dwindling. Boston's actually passed them for the home field advantage in the wild card. That's where the Blue Jays want to be. They want to keep jumping over those teams.
Boston is off tonight as Cortez goes to first. In fact, Boston, including tonight, has 5 off days in September. They only have 20 games left. The Blue Jays, after this game, will have 23 games left. Here's Alejandro Kirk. Big sweeping breaking ball finds the strike zone. The Red Sox, they'll go out to Chicago to play the White Sox in a 3-game series and then travel all the way to Seattle to play the Mariners in a 3-game series. Then they'll have the 16th off before they play the Orioles at home at Fenway. Kirk hits it on the ground. Second, and that'll do it. The force out at second base. The Blue Jays are done in their half of the 6th. They get a base hit and leave a man on. 2-0 Jays. Barrios holding the Yanks to just 3 hits.
The 6th inning. Let's see how the 5th inning ended with this comebacker. Before this pitch is even thrown, he knows exactly who is going to be taking the bag at second base. That's why he can lead Bo Bichette the way you do. You catch the ball, you already know who's covering, throw the ball to the bag. He leads Bo Bichette perfectly. Blue Jays get out of a tough situation, a 1-6-3 double play. That's how you can help yourself as a pitcher. Be a good fielder.
Boy, that was a terrific throw for sure. Right on the money to Bo. Full stride across the bag. Barrios delivers a first pitch strike to Brett Gardner. Barrios has pitched ahead all night long. He's thrown changeups for strikes, curveballs for strikes, and fastballs for strikes. Missed with that breaking ball. It's a ball on the strike.
Yeah, you pitch ahead, and then you can expand from there, and that just makes your job so much easier. He's going to be facing Gardner again. This is the 3rd time he's going to try and get through this lineup. He's got Gardner. He struck him out on a pitch off the plate, and then he's walked him.
It's only a 2-run game, and the Blue Jays have just 2 solo home runs, one by Bichette to start the game, one by Grichuk to start the top of the 5th. Well, a good curveball catches the outside corner. The Yankees have 3 hits and they're all singles. Giancarlo Stanton looked like he had a double. Initially he was called safe with a double leading off the 4th, but the video replay overturned the call on the field and he was credited with a long single out trying to advance.
And just a continuing theme for the Blue Jays in this series. Great start in pitching. They've given up 18 hits now, the Blue Jays starters in this series. 17 of them have been singles. Do that, you're going to win your share of games.
There's a fly ball to left field, hit hard. Gurriel back, makes a nice running catch. He was shaded in that direction, but he was shallow. He had to turn and burn, and he runs it down to take a hit away from Gardner.
You know, that's why scouting reports are so important. They're there for a reason. The infield played him the pole, the outfield played him the other way. And you were right, he was shallow. He got a good break on that, and it was hit where he could turn and use his the glove side right there. Hauls it in, or that's extra bases. Get that first out of every inning. Makes your job a little bit easier. Barrios appreciates that.
You know, we talked about this win series, the winning streak at 7 games, and every aspect of the Blue Jays play has been terrific. Pitching has been great. Clutch hitting has been awesome. The defense has stepped right in stride with the rest of the play of the Blue Jays. Defense has been really keen lately. And it goes back to the pitching. You pitchers throw a lot of strikes, and the defense is on their toes, and it's been a frustrating time for the New York Yankees. Another good changeup from Barrios. Boy, he's had everything working, Pat.
Yes, he has. You got to continue to do that. Keep mixing up those pitches. Keep the Yankees guessing. You know, you mentioned all facets of the game working for the Blue Jays. You know, it can get frustrating, you know, when you play a long season and part of that isn't working.
How about that? That ball hit the third base bag and went straight in the air. Kevin Smith was hugging the line. He was going to make a play on that. So Aaron Judge has his second hit. A couple of singles for Judge, and Kevin Smith was in position to make a play.
Yeah, it's another infield hit as he checks his swing. Yeah, it looked like a ground ball to the third baseman. It hits the bag. He was ready to make that play. You could see he was down and ready to make it, but nothing you can do about that. That's a couple of times in this series that ball has hit the bag while the Blue Jays were on defense.
So here's Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo is 0 for 2. He's popped to third and grounded out to second. Blue Jays have pitched him tough, hitting .251 for the season. He stands right on top of the plate. A little bit of a open stance. Swing and a drive, and this one's going to go. A 2-run home run by Anthony Rizzo. They tried to get it inside and didn't get it far enough in. For Rizzo, that's his 19th home run of the season. It's the first home run for Rizzo in this series. The Yankees have hit just 2 home runs in this series, and it's tied at 2.
Yeah, they get the check swing ball off the bag, and then, you know, 2-run lead, automatic. The tying run comes to the plate, and they try to get back in there. And that two-seamer leaked a little bit too much over the plate, and Rizzo was waiting for it. You don't have to hit it that far in this field to right field to get a home run. And Rizzo knew it as soon as he swung the bat.
And Stanton takes one inside.
Danny Jansen, you can see they wanted it away, and it ended up in the middle. They've been pitching him up and in and had some success, but they wanted to go away, and it leaked back out over the plate. That's where he's looking for the ball. That is right in his swing path.
409 feet to right field, and there's another strike. Marias delivers it.
Yeah, tough to get that ball in there, but that's where you got to do it, and they actually wanted that ball away. And we are all tied, just like yesterday's game. A home run tied it up for the Yankees.
It's a nasty breaking ball as Stanton strikes out. It's the second out of the inning, the 5th strikeout for Barrios. Well, you're right. The Gardner home run yesterday in the 5th inning tied it up. Today it's a Rizzo home run in the 6th inning has tied it up. Gleyber Torres is grounded out and struck out. Rizzo's home run is first against Jose Barrios. And there's a fastball foul out of play. So Anthony Rizzo came over and really got off to a hot start with the Yankees. He has kind of cooled off lately, but that's a big swing of the bat right there for the Yankee first baseman. Fastball swung on and missed by Gleyber Torres. We mentioned it's Rizzo's 19th home run of the season, his 5th as a Yankee. It comes in his 101st at bat with the Yanks. 1-2, 2 outs. Outside, it's even at 2-2.
Here's the replay again. Again, too much of the plate. They've been pitching so well tonight, and you make one mistake and the Yankees capitalize on it to tie this game.
Curveball bounced into dirt. It's a full count now to Torres. Aaron Judge hit the bag at third for an infield hit that set up the 2-run home run off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. Judge had a check swing tapper roll down the third baseline and hit the bag and bounced up in the air. And there's another swing and a miss, a strikeout. But Barrios gives up a 2-run home run to Anthony Rizzo. We've played 6 innings. It's a 2-2 game. Play host to the division rival Padres tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Now. The Padres have the second wild card spot. The Dodgers have a 13.5 game lead over the Padres in that first wild card spot. Cincinnati is a game behind the Padres outside looking in. The Phillies are 3 back, Cardinals 3.5, and the Mets 4.5. And the Padres, they've got a tough schedule. The remaining 22 games for the Padres, they play the Dodgers, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Giants, the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Giants. Padres got a tough task ahead of them. New pitcher for the Yankees is Sal Romano, and he has just been added to their roster. He has been back and forth. Started the season with the Cincinnati Reds working out of their bullpen. He went from Cincinnati to the Yankees in July. From the Yankees to Milwaukee, and now here he is back with the Yankees, and they need his arm in the bullpen.
The Yankees are in the process of playing 20 straight days, so they need some fresh arms. Romano's one of those arms. Big guy, fastball, slider, changeup. He'll fall in love with that that slider. It's pretty good. He's listed at 6'5", 255. Big, strong guy that can throw pretty hard.
Ground ball. Wade just on the edge of the dirt makes the play, and Gurriel's retired. First out of the top of the 7th. Wade getting the start at second. DJ LeMahieu is going through a little bit of a hitting slump. Randal Grichuk has hit the ball sharply twice. He lined out in the 2nd inning and homered in the 5th inning. He's seen a total of 19 pitches so far in this game. We mentioned Romano began his career with the Cincinnati Reds as a starter. Back in 2017, he was 5-8 in 16 starts for the Reds. 8-11 in 2018, and then he moved to the bullpen. Hasn't started since. Fastball at 97, but off the plate outside, 1-1.
You mentioned that he was just added to the roster prior to tonight's ball game, but this isn't the first time that he has pitched for the Yankees. He pitched for them earlier this year. They've had him on the roster a couple of times. They've DFA'd him a couple of times, and they keep bringing him back and finding ways to use him.
And we mentioned the bullpen has really been worked a lot. In the last 2 games coming into this game, the bullpen pitched 11 of the 18 innings in games 2 and 3 of this series. So they're a little thin in their pen tonight. 2-1 to Grichuk. Good slider right there, Pat. You were on the money with this slider. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's rated like a 60 on the scouting scale of 20 to 80. 60 is above average. You know, Buck, I was sitting here thinking when you were talking about so many arms, and they've gone through so many arms, and they're a little bit depleted down at that bullpen, the Yankees. That new rule this year where you can only add 2 players in September might hurt this team the most. Because if you remember, as Grichuk strikes out, the Yankees used to bring up 8, 9 relievers in September. I mean, my lineup car would be full of arms down in that bullpen, and the Yankees would bring all their guys up here and use them all. So that rule where you can't bring up more than 2 players might hurt this team more than other teams.
That's a great point, and I like the rule. I like the fact that you have a limited roster, just 28 active players, and Gary Sanchez had that one bounce right out of his mitt. I mean, he didn't even move that thing, and that ball looked like it was a concrete brick he was using. 2 outs, Danny Jansen with the count in his favor. 1 ball and no strikes. And there's another good slider from Romano.
Yeah, you know, to finish the thought about the expanded rosters, how do you play the game of baseball for 5 months one way, and then the last month, the biggest games of the season, you change the rules, and then you can load up with 40 guys if you want to? Never understood that rule, to do that. And especially you load up guys in your bullpen and you just start matching them up. Lefty versus lefty, righty versus righty. You might use 10 relievers a game. Never liked that rule.
And a strike on the outside corner. I couldn't agree with you more. Made no sense to me either. 5 months one way, and then they changed the rules dramatically in the most important month of the season. It's an improvement, that's for sure. 2-2 ball game. We're in the 7th. Anthony Rizzo has tied it up with a 2-run home run. 1-2 pitch to Jansen. He hits it hard down the left field line. That's a fair ball up against the fence. Gallo plays it back in. Jansen digging for second, and he's in there with a head-first slide. Danny Jansen jumped on that breaking ball and hammered it to left field. His 8th double of the season. It comes with 2 outs.
3rd batter of the inning, and he knows that he's going to get a slider, which he does. And now he's got to hustle. It's him versus Joey Gallo's arm, and Danny wins that race. You know, you're smelling double right here. You know Gallo's got 12 outfield assists in the outfield. You got to hustle. And he does, and he gets himself an extra base hit.
So Danny is in there, and with the number 9 hitter scheduled, Kevin Smith, and a right-handed pitcher into the ball game, they will send a pinch hitter up. Jake Lamb. And with that, the Yankees are having a meeting on the mound to discuss Jake Lamb. Jake had a sac fly in the game last night. His first ribby as a Blue Jay came in the 8th inning. He also walked and scored a run. So he gets a chance here with a runner in scoring position. Wandy Peralta, the lefty, starting to loosen up for New York. Peralta had to finish up the game. He took over for Aroldis Chapman in the 9th inning in last night's game. Chapman couldn't get out of that 9th. First pitch is upstairs to Lamb. Hit him. So Lamb will go to first as Romano hit him with a fastball, and that's a extra base runner here in the 7th, and that'll bring Bo Bichette to the plate. He overcooked that fastball, threw it inside, and hit the batter.
Hit him in the left leg, and right after that pitch, he looked back at the mound like maybe his spikes caught momentarily. Right there, you can see him look back, and Lamb will get hit and keep the inning alive and bring up Bo Bichette, who's had a nice night.
Couple more hits, including a leadoff home run in the first. He's got another multi-hit game. He's 2 for 3. Struck out his last time up. Bo goes after the first pitch. That's going to get down for a base hit, and Jansen's going to come in to score. There'll be no throw. Lamb goes to third as Bo comes through once again. His third hit of the ball game puts the Blue Jays back out in front.
Boy, third time they threw a breaking ball. This rally started 2 outs, nobody on. Danny Jansen doubles down the left field line. Jake Lamb gets hit, and it brings Bo Bichette to the plate. He was hitless in the first 3 games of this series, but he's had a good one tonight. Reaches out on that slider, guesses right on that slider, hits it softly into center field. Again, another advantage for the Blue Jays. Jansen can score, Lamb can go to third. I love that. Blue Jays gave up the lead last inning, and you come right back and retake the lead.
Bo didn't need to look at a pitch from Romano. He jumped on that first pitch once again. Another first pitch base hit for the Blue Jays, a pivotal one here in the 7th. That's the third first pitch hit tonight for the Blue Jays. Lamb did a nice job running the bases. He goes first to third on the single by Bichette. And now Marcus Semien, who's 1 for 3. Outside. And Bo goes to second. So he'll be credited with a stolen base. His 22nd of the season. No throw at all. No attempt. He didn't come out of the crouch. So now there are 2 runners in scoring position. .22 for 23 for Bichette in steals. Right on the outside corner, Semien took that pitch, not one he wanted to swing at, with the count in his favor. It's 2-1 now.
Yeah, not when it's 2-0. Blue Jays could use a big base hit right here. They got a couple of runners in scoring position. They've had their chances tonight. Left 2 on in the first, another one on in the 6th. Time to clutch up.
Another slider, a little bit of a slip at the plate, like Semien kind of lost his footing a bit, reached for it, and it's a 2-2 count now. Bo with his 3rd hit of the game. It's his 12th 3-hit game of the season. That ties him for 10th in the American League in 3-hit games. Outside. Romano wanted it, but it wasn't close. Full count now with 2 outs.
He's got that fastball, that little comeback fastball. He's trying to sell it to the umpire like he thought it was a strike, but that one wasn't even close. They have been working Marcus Semien away here after he's hit a couple of bombs in this series.
Good job by Semien. He lays off that slider and takes ball 4. So now the Blue Jays have the bases loaded. We're going to have a pitching change. Aaron Boone. It's been a tough stretch for the Yankees. They have lost 5 in a row. They are 2-8 in their last 10, and it's going to be a pitching change. This is ball 4 that will load the bases, and that'll bring Vladdy Guerrero to the plate.
Yeah, he did not go disciplined enough to lay off of that one. Just dropped the bats. They're begging, but they didn't get it.
Vladdy Guerrero will face the lefty, Wandy Peralta, when we come back. Bases loaded. The Blue Jays have a 3-2 lead. Change here with 2 outs in the 7th inning, and Wandy Peralta finished out the game last night. Those are his numbers from the Giants and the Yankees, and it's kind of interesting. They would go to the lefty with Vladdy Guerrero coming to the plate, but Sal Romano walked Marcus Semien to load the bases, and Romano struck out the first 2 in the inning, and then Jansen doubled. Jake Lamb got hit by a pitch as a pinch hitter. Bichette singled, drove in the go-ahead run. Semien walked, and now Vladdy steps to the plate with the bases loaded.
Peralta splits. He pitches better against right-handers. They're only hitting 255 against him. Lefties 296. Fastball, slider, changeup. He only faced one batter last night and got a ground out for the last out for the Blue Jays. Glad he could use a big one right here.
Blue Jays could use a big one, and Vladdy goes after the first pitch as that ball sinks down and away. Guerrero has not reached base tonight. His streak is at 19 straight games reaching base. He is struck out, hit into a double play, and popped out. Blue Jays have taken the lead here in the 7th, and Vladdy fouls it out of play.
This would be a good time, I think, for him to go back to what works. Go back through the middle. Go back to right field. Stay on that ball just a little bit longer. He homered against Aroldis Chapman in last night's game where he pulled the ball to left field. But right now against this type of lefty, I think his game plan should be back through the middle or the other way.
Base hit, should score 2. 0-2. Tap toward third, but foul. Another off-speed pitch as Vladdy was out in front, rolled over it. Bo Bichette with a pair of RBIs tonight. Leadoff home run and an RBI single in the 7th. Randall Grichuk drove in the other run with a solo shot in the 5th. The Yankees runs coming on a Anthony Rizzo 2-run home run in the 6th. And the Blue Jays have the lead. Guerrero strikes out. Blue Jays leave the bases loaded. But they take the lead. Bo Bichette hitting in the leadoff spot tonight has a 3-hit game. His 12th 3-hit game of the season, and he's given the Blue Jays the lead. Have you considered a private suite for you and your group at the game? Starting at just 6 tickets per suite. Bring family and friends and enjoy a safe game experience. Visit BlueJays.com/suites today. Well, the Blue Jays are having quite a series here in New York. They have a 3-2 lead as the Yankees are set to bat in the bottom of the 7th. And once again, Jose Barrios has been very good. Barrios gave up a 2-run home run to Anthony Rizzo. He's only given up those 2 runs on 5 hits over 6 innings. He's walked 1 and struck out 6. He has thrown 91 pitches, so he should have plenty left in the tank, at least to get through this 7th inning. He's working to Gallo, Sanchez, and Tyler Wade. Joey Gallo, the left fielder, has flied out and struck out. As we mentioned, Barrios with 6 strikeouts. There's a good fastball, and Pat, he's maintained his velocity late into this game.
Yeah, and he's used it very effectively against Joey Gallo. Last time up, you mentioned the strikeout. There were 3 fastballs about letter high that Gallo swung right through.
Jake Lamb is into the game as the 3rd baseman, but is currently in left field as the Blue Jays use a 4-man outfield against Joey Gallo. He pinch hit and got hit by a pitch for Kevin Smith. And there's a strike called on the inside corner.
Yeah, he's shaking his head, but that ball was right there. Had the day off the other day and trying to get his swing back. Felt like the home run derby might have got him off track just a little bit. So they're trying to stabilize his swing just a little bit more. Work on it after the Blue Jays leave town.
Another high fastball, and Gallo, is no question about it. He's a low ball hitter. And as much as you might want to trick him with a breaking ball, I don't know if that's a good idea. Barrios has handled him upstairs. Going up there again. Popped him up, and that's going to be over the screen, out of play. Gallo's an interesting study as he takes a lot of walks and he strikes out a lot. He has walked 104 times, and with a strikeout tonight, he has 188 strikeouts. And he's also got some power, 31 homers. Boy, he took a close pitch for ball 3.
Yeah, that's another thing that he can do is he's very patient as Soria and Meza have gotten up and they're starting to warm up. This is going to be really interesting to see how they finish off this ball game. You got to figure Simber and Romano are down tonight.
That's a high fly ball, but it's down the right field line. It's going to be back into the seats, well out of play. Well, all the Blue Jays defenders, Simeon, Guerrero, and Teoscar going over just in case this is a playable ball, but Gallo knows it's well out of play right off the bat.
Yeah, you can see that swing. It's got a slight uppercut, trying to get the ball in the air. How do you defend that? You throw fastballs right there. Keep it up there. Maybe you can swing through another one.
He went with a curveball and walks him. A leadoff walk here in the 7th. Interesting choice right there by Barrios, who had thrown so many good fastballs to Gallo. So Gallo's aboard. Gary Sanchez will come to the plate. Sanchez has flied out and was hit by a pitch. Blue Jays have turned one double play. That was off the bat of Gio Urshela in the 5th. It was a 1-6-3 double play, and Sanchez, of course, is a prime candidate to hit into a double play. Hits the ball sharply and doesn't run well. There's another first pitch strike.
Yeah, you got to keep it on the ground. He's another one of those guys who likes to get the ball airborne. So you got to keep it down, get some movement, get him to hit the top of that baseball, get it on the ground. You got a chance.
What a pitch. Again, he paints the outside corner at 96. His velocity has been consistent.
Yeah, nothing the hitter can do with that one if you keep making pitches like that. Danny Jansen again set up on the corner. That's on the black of the plate.
No swing on the appeal. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Sanchez.
Sweeping slider. Again, Sanchez has eliminated that high leg kick, so you don't have to get that swing started early. You can slow your swing down just a little bit more, and he held up on that slider.
Called strike 3. Sanchez not happy with the call, but looked like it had plenty of the plate. Another strikeout for Barrios. That's 7 in the game. Doug Eddings, a veteran umpire behind the plate, rings up the Yankee catcher.
Blue Jays had one of those earlier in the game. Lourdes Gurriel thought a ball was off the plate. Sanchez thinks that's off the plate. A lot of movement with that slider. And it might have been off the plate, but they get the benefit of a doubt.
So here's Tyler Wade. He is 0 for 2. Sanchez struck him. Barrios struck him out on a changeup his last time up, and he takes a curveball for a strike. Wade's a tough guy to double up. He runs well. 18 first pitch strikes now thrown by Barrios tonight. That has had the Yankee hitters on their heels. Changeup off the plate.
Boy, just off the plate. You just keep throwing those strikes, keep putting the pressure on those hitters. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Blue Jays play this one out with their bullpen.
Barrios now up over 100 pitches for the game. And the reason it'll be interesting, you expect that Jordan Romano is not available. He has pitched in back-to-back games in this series. Popped up over near the Blue Jays dugout. Lamb giving chase, and it's out of play. Well, the Blue Jays, one thing they have done recently, Pat, they've improved their play in one-run games. And we had talked about how the overall play of the Blue Jays in every aspect of the play has improved, and that certainly shows up in one-run games.
Yeah, earlier this year they were losing some tough ones. I mean, some tough, close games, 1- and 2-run games. And you couldn't invent some of the ways they were losing them. Now they seem to be making the breaks and finding ways to win those games. A solid bullpen will help you do that. Shut down the other team so you can come back and maybe steal a win. You get good solid pitching at the end of a ball game, you're going to win those close games.
Blue Jays now are 13 and 15 in one-run games, and that last pitch by Barrios, 108 pitches. That ties his season high in pitch count. But he's still got good velocity and good movement. Hasn't lost anything. Got him. Another good breaking ball and a strikeout for Barrios. So after the leadoff walk, he strikes out Sanchez, and now he gets Wade.
Another great breaking ball, and he gives Danny Jansen after that. You know, he gives him, hey, great call on that one. He delivered the pitch, but it was great setup by Jansen. Good work to get a tough hitter out. And now Charlie's out there. Maybe that's it.
And you can see Barrios. He was lobbying momentarily to stay in the game, but he will reluctantly give up the baseball here. 6 2/3 by Barrios. Another terrific outing. He leaves with the lead. We got a pitching change here in the 7th. Jays lead at 3-2. Sportsnet Now is the streaming home of the Blue Jays, giving you 24/7 access to games, Blue Jay Central, and more. Visit snnow.ca for details. Jose Barrios with another terrific outing, 3 terrific starts in a row. He leaves this ball game with a 3-2 lead, turns things over to the veteran Joakim Soria.
Well, here's the strategy I think what the Blue Jays are trying to employ right now. They wanted to get this matchup here with 2 outs. Soria versus Urshela. Urshela has had some problems with some changeups. Soria's got that great split change that he'll throw at any time. They're banking on him getting Urshela out right here, and then you can bring Meza in for the 8th inning.
Now, this is where the 3-batter rule really plays into effect, and Soria is aware of that. He needs to end this inning so he doesn't have to face Brett Gardner. If he ends the inning, you can go to Meza to start the 8th inning. If he doesn't end the inning, he's going to have to pitch to Brett Gardner. Boy, Soria. He's a veteran, man. He made a good pitch, and he's quickly ahead, 0-2.
Yeah, he's smart. He knows what to do. He knows exactly what he wants to do against Urshela. Urshela's 0-2 in his career against him. And again, he's had a lot of problems hitting the changeup in this series against Blue Jay pitching.
0-2 with Gallo at first. A breaking ball swung on and missed, and what a job by Soria. He comes in and throws 3 pitches and strikes out Urshela. Barrios 6 2/3, and he's in line for the win. Blue Jays have the lead. Spot, and you don't want to miss a minute. Tickets for all remaining home games are on sale now. Socially distanced seating options available on the 100 and 200 levels. Visit BlueJays.com for tickets. And remember, the Yankees will be at Rogers Center for the final homestand of the season. It'll be the Yankees and Orioles to wrap up things. And the Blue Jay fans have seen some terrific games here at Yankee Stadium. Blue Jays have a 3-2 lead. Andy Peralta still in the game, and he bounces the first pitch to Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar's 2 for 3. He's got 2 hits. Bo has 3 hits. And the Blue Jays have out-hit the Yankees 8-5. Bo has a solo home run, as does Randall Grichuk. And Bo drove in the go-ahead run with a single in the 7th. Off-speed pitch fouled off at home plate. Peralta came into the game and struck out Guerrero with the bases loaded and the 7th. He threw 2 pitches in the game last night to get a ground out and end the Blue Jays in the top of the 9th. Back to the backstop. Airmailed everything there.
You know, last night's game, it kind of got lost in the shuffle, is how the Blue Jays added on. They got a run in the 7th to make it 4-3, a run in the 8th, and a run in the 9th, get a little bit of breathing room. Tonight, they scored that run in the 7th inning. Can they add on these next couple of innings to make that a little bit easier on Charlie Montoyo and that coaching staff heading in the later innings?
Yeah, that's always a big issue. Obviously, when you're playing the Yankees in this ballpark, they have so many power hitters in their lineup. They can erase a 1-run deficit in a heartbeat, and Teoscar goes around. Now it's 3-2. Alejandro Kirk is on deck. He's been the DH. So far, he's 0 for 3. Ball 4. Another walk. A leadoff walk here in the 8th.
Take on any project with Home Hardware. Proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's how.
We're in the 8th inning. Alejandro Kirk will come to the plate. As we mentioned, he's 0 for 3. We had a great opportunity in the first inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd. The infield was drawn in, and he hit a shallow fly ball to right. The Blue Jays was ended up with just 1 run in that first inning. There's a changeup for a strike. I know the Blue Jays don't do it very often, but boy, oh boy, would this be a good chance to play hit and run. Kirk can put the bat on the ball, and Teoscar's got good speed, but they don't do it a lot. Outside.
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways you could play that. You could play hit and run right here, or you could play for the big inning. You could steal if you want. You have to take advantage one way or another of a leadoff walk. Chances are they come around to score more often than a leadoff base hit for some reason. Yankees are thinking the Blue Jays might be up to something. But Wandy Peralta doesn't throw that hard. He doesn't get a lot of swing and miss. So if you want to, this would be the guy to do it against.
Teoscar at first not running, and there's another off-speed pitch, and Kirk was out in front. 1-2 now. Lourdes Gurriel is on deck.
This would be a guy to get your right field stroke out if you're Alejandro Kirk, like he did the other day with those 2 home runs to right field. That's where you should be thinking against this guy.
The Yankees keeping an eye on Hernandez for sure. Bounced in the dirt. Teo takes for second, and Sanchez makes a heck of a throw. Harry Sanchez from his knee throws one right on the bag at second. Teoscar trying to take advantage of that ball in the dirt, and Sanchez made a nice throw.
Yeah, if it's anywhere but where he threw it, that's from his knees. If it's a couple of inches up or away, Teoscar's going to be safe, but it's right on the bag, and all that Wade has to do is catch it and apply the tag. A heck of a throw, and that's one thing Gary Sanchez has. He's got a good arm.
He's got arm strength for sure. Mechanically, he has issues throwing in a straight steal, but that time, I mean, he even got surprised that Teoscar broke because he blocked it right there. That's a good gamble for me, for Teoscar to take a shot, and it took a perfect throw to get him. And now Kirk will walk. Let's check in with Arash Madani.
Well, Buck, we've talked about the Yankees bullpen woes. They are not getting provisions anytime soon. Devastating news for Zach Britton. Reconstructive surgery on the elbow. May end next season for him, too. And what a brutal year it's been for Britton. Lost a ton of weight with the COVID diagnosis. Then surgery on the elbow in the spring. Now this. So may not be until 2023 that Britton gets a clean bill of health.
A big arm out of their bullpen, and that's a big loss for this Yankee team. Breivik Valera takes over as the pinch runner at first for Alejandro Kirk. And Lourdes Gurriel takes the ball downstairs. Gurriel is 0 for 3. He has been called out and struck out swinging. He has a pop down. Top of the 8th inning, 1 out. Breivik Valera at first, the pinch runner. Oscar Hernandez walked to start it. He was caught trying to advance on the wild pitch, caught stealing. There's a ground ball off the bat of Gurriel. Torres to second, and they drop it. That is not going to be an out because Wade never had the ball. And that'll be another error charge to the Yankees, the 5th error they've committed in this 4-game series.
Yeah, they might not turn a double play, but you've got to get an out, and he just clanks it. The ball was right there. It led him just a little bit. Gleyber Torres leads him with that underhand toss. He just misses it. Now, I don't know if they would have been able to turn 2 because it was hit slow, but you got to get 1, and they don't. And again, Blue Jays need to take advantage of what the Yankees are giving them.
Boy, the Yankees, they have played horrible defense in this series. Just routine plays that it's almost like they're distracted, like their focus is not keen. And that was a play you got to make. Here's Randall Grichuk. See if he can cash in on this Yankee error. Randall hit a solo home run deep to left field back in the 4th, his 22nd home run of the season. And Pat, here's a good opportunity to add on.
Yeah, you're right, and he has come up with a lot of clutch hits for the Jays this year. And it looks like he is setting his sights like he should against Wandy Peralta. Change-ups away, off-speed pitch away. He gets a lot of RBIs by going the other way. Right center field should be where he should be aiming right now.
That's another ball low. 2-1 now. Joakim Soria did a terrific job striking out Gio Urshela to end the bottom of the 7th, and he has done his job tonight. Jose Barrios as well. He did his job with 6 2/3 of terrific pitching. 2 runs on 5 hits. Ball 3 in the dirt.
Patience. The Blue Jays had a lot of patience in last night's ball game. They got their share of walks, 11 of them. And this is where you want to be patient and make sure he comes up to you. He's been wild. He walked the first 2 batters, and then the error. Now Grichuk is, sitting in a 3-1 count. Still be patient.
Hitters count here, 3-1. And he chases a changeup off the plate. Now it's 3-2. Danny Jansen is on deck. Rando hits a bullet into left field. They're going to have to stop the runner, Valera. That ball was hit right to Gallo on the line by Rando. He's got his second hit of the game. And once again, the Blue Jays have loaded the bases.
You know, that was because his approach at the plate was good. I think he got out of his swing on that 3-1 pitch where he was thinking about trying to do some damage and trying to pull the ball, and then got right back into his game plan. Tightened it up just a little bit, shortened up that swing, and hit a bullet to left field. He hit it so hard, Valera couldn't score.
Another meeting on the mound now. Matt Blake, the pitching coach, out to talk to Peralta. Danny Jansen had a big double his last time up, and he scored the go-ahead run on the Bo Bichette RBI single. Jansen hit that off of Zal Romano. He got a breaking ball, and he hammered it down into the left field corner with 2 outs. So a long meeting on the mound, and they're just having a long discussion about this at bat. Obviously a pivotal point. Blue Jays had the bases loaded last inning, and Peralta struck out Guerrero to leave the bases loaded. Danny has a grand slam to his credit, and he's always come through with the bases loaded, a .357 average. Big at bat right here for the Blue Jays. Just 1 out. Good cut by Jansen. He falls behind 0-1.
Jays have done a good job in this series. You know, sacrifice flies, moving runners, taking the extra bases, doing the little things you need to score runs that help you win ball games. Here's another one right here. Got to come up with a base hit, at least a deep sacrifice fly to score at least 1.
Blue Jays had a pair of sac flies in Tuesday's game. Andrew Heaney, the lefty, starting to warm up. The Blue Jays, we mentioned, their bullpen has been taxed in this series, and Boone doesn't have many options. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Jansen has always hit well in this ballpark. And he goes after a borderline pitch, and it's 2-2 now. I mentioned Danny hit a double last time up. Blue Jays have 2 left-handers throwing now. Meza was up earlier, and Taylor Saucedo has joined him. Downstairs. Full count. That's interesting with 2 left-handers. It suggests that if the Blue Jays can get a couple of more runs here, they might go with Saucedo in the 8th and save Meza to close. Everything is fluid right now. Full count, 1 out. Ball 4. He walked in a run. Danny Jansen takes a bases loaded walk, and you can hear the Yankee fans reacting as they force home another run.
Well, what a patient at bat. I was talking about being patient when Randall Grichuk was up. He just keeps trying to float that ball away to the righties, and you have to be patient. He's been wild. That's his 3rd walk this inning. Jake Lamb's got to be the same thing. Just be patient and make him get that ball up.
Lamb got hit by a pitch his last time up. That was by Romano. And he goes after a high pitch and fouls it back. Blue Jays have added on here. Still just one out. Well, you'd love to get a couple more. Upstairs. Ball and a strike to Jake Lamb, the Blue Jays third baseman. As we mentioned, he has come in as a pinch hitter and got hit by a pitch. Kevin Smith started the game. He was hit by a pitch in the seventh. He fouls it off. It's 1-2. And the Yankees have had a couple of curious infield alignments, and especially in this situation where there's a double play situation, but the infield is still playing in a shift, and the shortstop is a long way from second.
Yeah, and they're deep. They're deep too. It's going to, if he even hits a ground ball to the right side, it's going to be hard to turn a double play with just one out. Look at the right side of the infield. That's not double play depth. They are playing deep.
Cut on and miss as Lamb strikes out on a high fastball. That's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, he still hasn't thrown it over. They've swung out a couple of balls out of the strike zone, a little bit anxious to get that run in. Got to take what they give you. Having trouble throwing strikes. Help them out. Now it's going to take a 2-out base hit.
Well, Bo's already got 3 hits tonight. Why not get a 4th? Average up to 290. Takes a high strike. Bo has already had 2 4-hit games this season. He was 4 for 4 against Oakland on the homestand. Chases one downstairs. He's behind 0-2.
Bo is hitting nearly 400 against left-handed pitching on the breaking ball. The one time they struck him out, they used fastballs, and that's what Peralta did right there. This will be the 35th pitch of the inning, and it is a fastball.
And that came right back with the heater, and Bo fouled it back. Bo has driven in 2 of the 3 Blue Jays runs, actually 4 now, with Danny Jansen drawing the bases loaded walk. It's 4-2 Jays. Ground ball to third. Urshela will go to second, and that will end it. So the Blue Jays will score a run. Danny Jansen with a bases loaded walk. They'll take a 4-2 lead into the bottom of the 8th. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie and Joe. Fabulous for less.
Bo Bichette has had a big game tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays, but the winning moment happened before the game. It's going to go to Charlie Montoyo, who put him in the leadoff spot and has ignited this team. 3 base hits for Bichette, including that leadoff home run. He's driven in a couple of runs. So that winning moment goes to Charlie by putting him in that leadoff spot. It has worked out for the Blue Jays tonight.
Boy, during this 7-game win streak, it has been a different hero every single night. And tonight, Bo has had a couple of RBIs. Randall Grichuk has 2 hits and a solo home run. Danny Jansen has a double, scored a run, and driven in a run with a bases-loaded walk. So Tim Mesa is into the game to start the 8th inning. Brett Gardner was the scheduled batter, but they're going to make a change here as DJ LeMahieu will come off the bench and bat for Brett Gardner in the leadoff spot here in the 8th. Blue Jays have a 4-2 lead.
Mesa working for the 3rd time in this 4-game series. They are pushing him, and he's been outstanding. That's all he's been doing, just pumping that fastball in there for strikes.
Well, he's done a terrific job of keeping his pitch count down. He threw 14 pitches on Tuesday, just 9 on Monday. And LeMahieu's late. LeMahieu's had a rough series. He was 1 for 4 in the game last night, 0 for 4 on Tuesday, and 1 for 4 on Monday. An infield hit. Both of his hits have just been ground balls. And he fights off that slider to stay alive. Tim Mesa has had a phenomenal season coming back from Tommy John. He had a good spring. He earned a spot on the team and had a little bit of an elbow issue mid-season, but boy, he's throwing well again. And there he missed with that high fastball. One-two pitch. Fouled off by LeMahieu. Gets to that inside fastball. Mesa's fastball has been terrific. Trusting it, throwing it with a lot of confidence. It's hard. It's got a lot of late sink.
Yeah, a lot of late movement. He can use it inside. He can use it outside. And it's nice that he hasn't thrown a lot of pitches because the Yankees have had that way of making you work. LeMahieu's going to be a tough out.
Mesa bounced that slider. Tim pitched in Saturday's game. He threw 15 pitches on Saturday. Didn't pitch Sunday. Came back and pitched Monday and Tuesday. Did not pitch yesterday. But this time of the year, you've got to step out of your comfort level. Line drive to right. That's going to get down for a base hit. LeMahieu going the other way. Gets a pinch hit leadoff single here in the 8th.
He's got that natural stroke the other way. Anything out over the plate, he'll shoot that ball the other way. Great plate coverage to reach that pitch. Not a bad pitch from Mesa. Fastball down and away. Well, that's the plate coverage I'm talking about. That's how you can win batting titles like he has in both leagues.
Here's Aaron Judge. He's had a couple of singles. He's 2 for 3 and scored a run. Judge had a check swing roller up the third base line. They hit the bag, bounced over Kevin Smith for an infield hit, and then he scored on Rizzo's 2-run home run in the 6th. Slider missed inside. Judge came into this game 1 for his previous 23, and that was an infield single. Outside. That's the tough part of the lineup. Judge, then Rizzo, and then Stanton. Rizzo with the home run. Stanton has a base hit. Strike right at the bottom of the knees. That's where Mesa has lived most of the season.
Yeah, you stay there, you're not going to get hurt. Aaron Judge is 6'7". Throw it right at the knees. Blue Jays get another call right there. You keep the ball down there, you keep Judge from hitting it in the air.
Well, that was a close pitch. Just missed the inside corner. It's now a full count.
trying to get him to fish at that, and Judge got a good eye. He's very patient at the plate, just off the plate.
There's a base hit to left field. Aaron Judge with his third hit of the game. LeMahieu advances to second, so back-to-back singles to start the eighth.
One base hit to right field, and now Judge is able to reach out on a pitch away from him. He's got those long arms, and he can reach it. Smacks it into left field. Yankees get the first two on here, and now Blue Jays are going to use a mound visit to talk about this.
Yeah. Nate Pearson just now starting to loosen up. Jordan Romano standing by, and Romano, to me, looks like he is active for tonight's game. He's had a ball in his hand most of the night. Pearson, I'm a little surprised he didn't get up earlier in this inning. Rizzo is the third batter that Mesa will face here in this inning. LeMahieu, the pinch hitter, single to right. Judge single to left. And Rizzo homered his last time up. He's jumping on that first pitch, trying to ambush that heater, and it was in a good spot. All he can do is pull it foul.
Yeah, the home run that he hit was out over the plate. They tried to go away. They've had success jamming him, keeping that ball right in on his hands where he can't extend through the baseball. Again, the home run that he hit ended up over the middle of the plate.
Slider beaten foul, and Rizzo had to really reach to make contact with that pitch. That was a good slider. Boy, you wonder what Pete Walker's message was to Mesa. Probably the fact, hey, if you can get him out inside, if you make that good pitch with your fastball. And you mentioned Barrios left that fastball out over the plate, and Rizzo was able to hit it into the seats. 0-2, first and second, nobody out. There's that pitch inside, and he went right after him. Rizzo was able to check his swing.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that, because Mesa's got that great movement on that sinker. You know, you can get a ground ball here. You can get a take for a strike or a swing where he can swing over it. That time he was able to hold up on it. You can go back in there again.
And he did. He got a foul ball. Boy, this is so important for any pitcher, but the ability to throw strikes inside with tough pitches like Mesa's thrown to Rizzo, I mean, that'll separate you from the pack. A lot of guys can't get that ball inside as effectively as Tim Mesa has.
You're right. If you can do it. He couldn't do that when he was a young pitcher. Now he's got some years under his belt, and he can command that thing.
Ground ball. Vladdy goes to second for one. No throw back to first. They get the runner at second. LeMahieu goes to third. Rizzo hustled down the line, and Bo made a wise decision not to chance the throw. So Judge is retired on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, you got to know when to make a play and when not to make the play. And Bo caught the ball, got the out, and then he just wasn't sure that he could get the guy over at first base. So it's better just to hold on to it. You still have the double play in order. You can get out of the inning with a ground ball.
Here's Giancarlo Stanton. Yeah, he takes one down and in at 96. Stanton had a base hit to left field on a changeup. The Blue Jays have pitched him so well with fastballs. They threw him back-to-back changeups in the fourth inning, and he got a base hit to left field, and then he was thrown out. trying to stretch it into a double. Just missed downstairs. Another good heater from Mesa.
Yeah, you got plenty of fastball. Now you got to figure out where you want to throw the fastball here. Again, they've had some success going up and into him. Just don't want him to extend and get those long arms on the ball.
Ground ball to third. Second for one. Back to first. Double play. What a pitch by Tim Mesa. The Yankees get back-to-back singles to start the inning. Rizzo bounces into a fielder's choice, and Stanton hits into an inning-ending double play. We'll go to the ninth. Back-to-back singles to start the inning, and then got a fielder's choice and a huge double play off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton, with the Yankees threatening to tie it.
Yeah, made a great pitch right here, and then the Blue Jays did everything else. Lamb to Simeon to Guerrero to the delight of Tim Mesa. And when he got back into that dugout, his teammates were all over him, congratulating him on that great pitch to end the inning. So the Blue Jays get out of it. They will bat in the ninth inning with that 2-run lead, and they will face new pitcher Andrew Heaney. Is the fourth pitcher tonight for the Yankees. They saw him a couple of days ago coming out of the pen. Had a 1-2-3 inning. He was a starter for the Angels. He's been in the pen for a while.
It's a high fly ball, not deep in right. Judge waits on it, and Simeon's retired on one pitch from Heaney. DJ LeMahieu moves into second base. A pinch hit for Brett Gardner. So Tyler Wade moves out to center field. He was the starting second baseman. So LeMahieu's at second, Wade's in center. Here's Vladdy Guerrero. Vladdy is 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts and grounding into a double play. He had a good cut and foul. In fact, Vladdy has not reached base tonight. That 19-game streak of reaching base is on the line here. Not that he's overly concerned about that. They're more concerned about Blue Jays winning this game. Called strike on the inside corner. 1-2. Vladdy's had quite an assortment of pitches thrown at him tonight.
He homered yesterday in the ninth inning to give Blue Jays a little bit more breathing room. And looking like he's trying to hit another one.
Yeah, that home run came off of Aroldis Chapman leading off the ninth inning. The Yankees are looking at a 6-game losing streak. Vladdy lays off that outside pitch. Interesting now, Jordan Romano has gotten up. He has not appeared in 3 straight games this season, but he looks like he's in play tonight. Vladdy stays alive. Yeah. There was some thought that he would be shut down tonight, but as we said, you got all winter to rest. September is a big month.
Yeah, we had that debate last night. Nate Pearson was thrown along with them. Thought he might come in. Romano closed it out. Pearson is up throwing also in case the Blue Jays score a couple of runs. You know, in September, you got a couple of weeks left in the season. You're a relief pitcher. Your team's going for the pennant. You become an everyday player. I mean, you got to be ready at any time.
Vladdy lays off that pitch. It's upstairs. 3-2 now. I agree with you 100%. The only thing I disagree with you, I think it should be all season long. Oscar Hernandez has had another good night. He's got a couple of hits. If gets a chance here, and Vladdy hits one high and deep to right. This ball's got a chance. Get out of here and gone. Vladdy Guerrero for a second straight night. It's a home run in the ninth. His 42nd and 100th RBI of the season. What a battle by Guerrero.
He battled and battled, and they got the pitch to his liking. Blue Jays entered the ninth inning yesterday up by 2 runs. Guerrero homered, gave him a 3-run lead. Same thing tonight, 2-run lead into the ninth inning. He homers in the ninth inning. This one to right field to give the Blue Jays a little bit more breathing room. And 100 RBIs, and congratulations, the youngest Blue Jay player to reach 100 RBIs in a season. Vernon Wells had the record. Vladdy just beat it.
Boy, what a swing, what an at bat.
A high pitch like that, and he was pulling off the ball just a little bit. His last at bat when he struck out with the bases loaded, that time he got that patented right field stroke out. Way back, you see him rock back on that back leg, and there's that right field stroke. He has hit his share of home runs to right field this year.
Our friends at TD would like to congratulate Vladdy Guerrero for reaching the 100 RBI milestone. TD, proud fan and official bank of the Toronto Blue Jays. Congratulations to Vladdy Guerrero. Another terrific milestone for a very young superstar.
You know, Buck, we have had the best seats in the house all season long, watching him develop and become the star that everybody thought he was going to be. It started in spring training, had a big spring, got off to a great start this year, and we get to watch him night after night do what he just did.
Now Oscar gets a base hit into center. His third hit of the ball game. And the Blue Jays, they have done a terrific job late in games lately. So Guerrero with 42 home runs and 100 RBIs. And you take a look at the youngest 100 RBI seasons in franchise history. He is the leader of the pack.
Yeah, Vernon Wells held that distinction in 2002 when Vernon was just 23, drove in 100 runs. Well, Vladdy takes that from him now, just 22 years old. And, you know, you want to talk about home runs also for people, players 22 or younger. Joe DiMaggio hit 46 home runs in 1937. Juan Gonzalez had 43 in 1992. Those are the only other 2 players who have hit more home runs in their age 22 season in the American League than Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, and it's an impressive list as well when you talk about all of baseball, as Breivik Valera gets his first plate appearance. He entered the game as a pinch runner in the 8th inning for Alejandro Kirk and came around to score the 4th run. Most home runs age 22 or younger all time. Eddie Matthews leads that category with 47. He hit for the Milwaukee Braves in 1953. Nice foul back. Then you mentioned DiMaggio. That was in 37 for the Yankees. Johnny Bench had 45 for the Reds in 1970. Juan Gonzalez, you mentioned. Mel Ott had 42 in 1929. Bryce Harper had 42, and now Vladdy has tied Harper and Mel Ott with 42 home runs in his age 22 season or younger. Historic. Valera lays off that pitch. It's 1-2.
It's just impressive, those names that you were just naming right there, and the season that he has had, and he still has some time to keep adding on to that. And I like the big ones. I mean, that's another big home run, just like last night. Big home run. Here's another one tonight. You know, he's not hitting these things when it's 10-1 and they don't mean anything. He's hitting them when they count for the Blue Jays.
Well, absolutely. He has continued to get big hits all season long. He went into a little bit of a tailspin there for a while, but boy, he's bounced right back here in September. 2-2 pitch to Valera. He gets a base hit in the alley. Teoscar's around second, headed for third. Wade's throw back in the infield. He's getting the green light. Here's the throw to the plate, and Sanchez drops the ball. So Hernandez will score as Breivik Valera ends up at third base on the throw. Another big run for the Blue Jays here in the ninth.
Yeah, just keep adding on as Teoscar uses his speed to hustle around the bases. Valera smoked that ball into the gap. New center fielder just into the game, and this ball was right there. All he had to do was catch it, block home plate, and Teo would have been out, but he dropped the ball as he is thinking about scoring right here. Pick up your third base coach. He shows off his athleticism to score a big run for the Blue Jays, and Valera goes all the way to third base. And remember, there's only one out. And with that, Buck, I was watching the bullpen. Jordan Romano sat down. Nate Pearson starting to get up again.
That's beautiful. You don't have to force Romano into a third straight game. Vladdy with the home run. Valera picks up another run, and now Gurriel has a chance to add on. And at third, less than 2 outs, the infield is drawn in for the Yankees. Boy, Teoscar, he was determined to score, wasn't he?
Oh boy, was he ever. That's just great base running. That's understanding the situation and knowing who you are.
There's a ball off of Urshela, and that was a rocket. The runner has to hold it third because he was on the infield. I'm not sure where that hit him, but that was smoked.
Boy, they are getting the head out. That ball was all over. Urshela just ate him up. It was hit so hard, and he kept it in the infield that Valera can't score. But it will go as another hit. That's 13 hits now for the Blue Jays tonight.
And Gurriel will come out of the game. Gerard Dyson will take over as a pinch runner at first. And when Charlie has used his bench very effectively, including the pinch running of Valera for Alejandro Kirk in the 8th inning. He came around to score, and now he gets a double here in the 9th. Valera picks up an RBI on that play at the plate as well, so credit Teoscar with that. He just hustled around the bases. Here's Randal Grichuk. He's had a 2-hit game. He hits this one high in the air. Judge is set on and underneath it, and the runner's going to hold as it wasn't deep enough again. Grichuk flies out, 2 down. Well, with Vladdy Guerrero reaching 100 RBIs and 42 home runs, once again we'll take a look at the Triple Crown chase. Vladdy is first in batting average, tied for second in home runs, and 4th in RBIs. He's 1 home run behind Ohtani, 4 RBIs behind Sal Perez and Jose Abreu. So everybody is within reach. And Vladdy Guerrero at 22 years old. Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown in 2012. He was 29. To put things in perspective, what Vladdy is doing this season.
Man, that is so hard. Again, we've sat here and watched the great season that he has had. To win the Triple Crown, you got to be out of this world. He has had a great year, but he is second and third in a couple of those categories. You got to be off the charts to win a Triple Crown.
Miguel Cabrera, Carl Yastrzemski, Frank Robinson, the last 3 to have a Triple Crown season. Robinson did it in his first year with the Baltimore Orioles in '66. Yaz did it in '67 in that miracle season for the Red Sox. And then we go Cabrera in 2012. Cabrera hit .330 with 44 home runs and 139 RBIs. And Vladdy is on the cusp. 6-2 Blue Jays. We're in the ninth. Danny Jansen had a double and walked with the bases loaded his last time up. Well, we had mentioned that the Blue Jays had to make a statement coming into New York, and I think that statement is quite clear. They're in this thing to get to the postseason. Jansen strikes out. That ends the inning, but the Blue Jays get 2 more big runs in the ninth. Vladimir Guerrero with an opposite field home run. His 42nd and 100th RBI. 6-2 Blue Jays. On Sportsnet, it's the New York Liberty and Dallas Wings Saturday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet Now. Well, the Blue Jays added 2 more runs in the top of the ninth inning, and they have a 6-2 lead. With that, Jordan Romano sat down, and Nate Pearson has come out of the pen to try to close things out in this 6-2 ball game.
Yeah, it's not a safe situation because the Blue Jays scored 2 runs, so they will turn it over to Nate Pearson, who last time out against Oakland looked like the guy that they have been waiting for. He threw 14 pitches in an inning of work. 10 strikes, struck out the side. Fastball outstanding, slider was outstanding. There are his numbers in 3 games, including 1 start this season. So his job right now, get 3 outs, finish this thing off.
Boy, what a timely couple of runs for the Blue Jays, because now you don't have to go to Romano, and Nate Pearson has a chance to close things out. Romano will get an extra day's rest heading into a 4-game series. Lots of defensive changes. Hernandez, Dyson, and Grichuk. That's the outfield alignment now. And Pearson's into the game, and he delivers a first pitch strike. Gleyber Torres, another rough night, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The Yankees have 2 runs on 7 hits. 2 runs came on a Rizzo home run in the 6th. 99 downstairs.
Yeah, Barrios really used the fastball very effectively against Gleyber Torres, and I think Nate Pearson should do the same thing. You got a 4-run lead. Here's my best fastball. Let me see what you can do with it.
And he popped it up. That was his best fastball. Dyson makes the catch in center field. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It has been quite a stay in New York for the Blue Jays. They're on the verge of taking a 4-game series. Joey Gallo's the batter. With that, the Blue Jays once again used the 4-man outfield and just 3 defenders on the dirt. And Pearson delivers a first pitch strike. Gallo walked his last time up. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The Yankees have struck out 9 times tonight. Barrios had them strike out 8 times, and there's another good fastball at 100 miles an hour. That's Jake Lamb, the third baseman, playing in left field. And he is going to go back to his position in left, 4-man in the outfield. And Pearson, the last game he pitched, you mentioned it, Pat, he threw great against Oakland. They had 3 strikeouts. But to me, he's a down pitcher. You pitch down in the zone, that's when he's at his best. And I think earlier last year he tried to pitch up in the zone, and I don't think that's when he's at his best. I like him when he drives that ball downstairs. He missed with that one. I just don't think he has a real good feel of that high strike, and I don't think he has to make any adjustments. I think he has to pitch to his strength.
Yeah, and his strength is fastball slider. He told me when I was in Toronto. He said, I'm going to use all my pitches, but I don't have to worry about trying to go deep in a ball game when I'm out of the pen. I can go fastball, slider, and give it everything I got.
When he throws that fastball down in the zone, it's got good carry, and it just really finishes, and it just suits his delivery very well. And I think, too, when he throws that fastball down in the zone, that gets his hand in the right position when he throws the slider. I just like him pitching down. I just think that's where he's most effective.
Do you think eventually, though, and I agree with you, when you're down, eventually he's going to have to, learn to pitch at some point up in the strike zone at times, because you can't keep throwing everything down. You got to change the eye level at times to those batters.
Right. I agree with that. I think you have to get yourself established, and there's a good slider. Gallo is called out on strikes, and the Yankees are down to their last out. And Gallo doesn't think it was a strike, but it's called a strike, and that's the second out of the inning.
So where he is in his development here in the big leagues, as they put him in the bullpen, he should just worry about just pumping that fastball in the strike zone low, and he will work and he will learn how to move it around the strike zone. But that is a weapon when you can hit triple digits.
There's a good fastball right at the bottom of the zone. And yeah, I agree with you. I think he's got to just establish himself, pitch to his strength, get comfortable, and then you can start moving the ball around. Once you command the strike zone down, you can start taking shots upstairs. But I think they overloaded him with scouting reports when he came up last year and asked him to do things that he wasn't comfortable doing just yet. He's got a great arm. 0-1. And his slider got away from him, and Sanchez has a 1-1 count. We mentioned the Yankees have not lost a 4-game series here at Yankee Stadium since 2003. That was at the old ballpark, and that was at the hands of the Blue Jays. It'll be the second time the Blue Jays in franchise history have swept a 4-game series against the Yankees in New York. Another slider missed upstairs. It's 2 balls and a strike. Jose Barrios went 6 2/3. He allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. The only damage, the Rizzo home run. There's another fastball pulled foul.
Blue Jays have gotten, and we talked about it also, about statements, and we've talked about everybody stepping up. Tonight's a prime example of that. Look at all the production that they have got. Barrios, the whole bullpen, the offense scratching out some runs, scored some late runs late again to open this one up.
Sanchez hits one high and deep, and it hits the foul pole. A solo home run with 2 outs here as Sanchez connects for his 21st home run. And the Blue Jays give up a run, but they have a cushion now thanks to a 2-run top half of the inning. It's now 6-3 Toronto.
Yeah, and solo home runs in the 9th inning shouldn't beat you. You just have to continue to make pitches, finish this one off. I don't know if that was a slider that flattened out against Sanchez. You can see he keeps that foot on the ground, hits it halfway up the foul pole in left field. Just pump that fastball in there and make them hit their way on.
Luke Voit pinch hitting here for Tyler Wade. And there's a first pitch slider, Voit out in front. 2 down. Yankees have scored a run on the Sanchez home run. Luke Voit for the season batting .249. He's had a down season dealing with injuries. There's another fastball that missed. It's a ball and a strike. Romano now with 2 outs, starting to loosen up a little bit down in the pen. He'll just go along with Nate Pearson here in the 9th. Boy, that's a beautiful fastball there, and Yankees are down to their last strike. He overthrew that ball and pulled it out of the zone. It hit 100, but it was down and away. In theory, you could say Pearson is pitching for a save. That would be saving Romano for the 4-game series in Baltimore if he can get out of this inning. And he throws a slider that Voit gets to. The Blue Jays have a doubleheader on Saturday, and they play 4 games in 3 days against the Orioles. So you'd love to be able to not have to use Romano in this game.
Buck, that's a great line. You know, get a save where Jordan doesn't have to throw, because you got 4 more in 3 days in Baltimore. So you would love to be able to give Jordan a day off in case you need him tomorrow. Chances are you're going to need him in that doubleheader at some point. So Nate needs to make a pitch here, finish this thing off, you know, so Jordan can just, you know, simmer down just a little bit and save those pitches.
2-2 to Voit. Swinging a drive left field, and this ball is going to go. Luke Voit hits a home run, back-to-back home runs on a hanging slider. For Voit, that's his 9th home run. And things have just gotten a little interesting here at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, another slider at when you throw 100. Thought they would go ahead and challenge him in the strike zone. They want that slider away, and it hung out over the plate. Luke Voit is plenty enough power to power it out of here. And now it's a 2-run lead. And Jordan Romano is starting to throw with a little bit more purpose.
Now, Voit has had an injury-plagued season, but he has a big swing here, and it makes things a little more interesting for the Blue Jays. And Romano will still stay down in the bullpen. The number 9 hitter is Gio Urshela, and he goes after the first pitch, and Urshela has been off his swing. And here's this Voit home run.
Yeah, he recognized that slider was hanging. He threw him a real good one for strike 1, and then made a mistake, and he made him pay.
Now it's quickly 0-2, and to his credit, Pearson has come right back and jumped ahead of Urshela. Yankees have now hit 3 home runs in this game. Called strike 3, and that's the ball game. Nate Pearson bounces back and strikes out Urshela to end it. And for the first time in a long time, the Blue Jays win a 4-game series, sweep the Yankees in Yankee Stadium.
They got great pitching from Barrios. He pitches into the 7th inning. The bullpen took it from there. But it was the offense grinding out at bats, coming up with some clutch hits. Guerrero with the big home run. 11 more runners left on base for the Blue Jays, so they had their chances, got enough hits with runners in scoring position to come into New York against the Yankees, who had won 13 in a row just a couple of weeks ago, and sweep them and get closer and closer to the playoffs.
They have a heck of a run here in New York. They have now won 8 in a row for the first time since 2015. Terrific all-around series for the Blue Jays. And they will head to Baltimore looking ahead to a 4-game series. Thanks for watching, folks. The Blue Jays win this one 6-4. Stay tuned now for Sportsnet Central. Here's Danielle and Faisal.